continuing to be outstanding. You can watch us on YouTube. We're in week number 3 of that right now on Sports 1440 AM. And as always, we're streaming on iHeartRadio, the Radio Player Canada app, an app even on sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of the show, you can find it where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Subscribe, select the download. You'll never miss a second of the show. Also, subscribe to us on obviously on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. We're also streaming live on Twitter, Twix, X, the whole hippie caboodle. Thanks so much for tuning in and being a part of our with you. We're glad you're along with us on a Monday where, man, it was a busy weekend again in sports with the Oilers rookies going at it. The Elks lose a real heartbreaker, a real tough one on Saturday afternoon in Toronto, a game that, they let slip away. And this is a game that, when you look at the big picture when it comes to the playoffs and the standings and everything like that, down the road, this is the one where you're going to go, we needed that one. It could be the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. And again, as you can know, there was just so many storylines in the NFL, and we're going to bust them down all morning with you and our co-host on Mondays and Fridays, Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade player with the Double E. Good morning, Eddie.
KK, it was a heartbreaker on Saturday. That was a heartbreaker of a football game. But after that, outside of that, I'm doing great, man. Great.
That's good. Good to see you. You're looking sharp.
You're looking sharp. 500 shows, KK.
500
Woo,
shows.
That's
Saul, 500.
That is big.
Yeah,
who'd have thunk it?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, again, when we had the 2 years, just after September long weekend, I was kind of going, did it go fast? Did it go slow? Sometimes it feels like we've been doing this for, a lot longer than 2 years, and you've been with us every step of the way here too. So good on you.
Here we are. I love it.
Good on the Duke and everyone else here. And 500 shows. So
impressive.
Yeah.
Busy weekend though, like you said.
Well, okay. If you turn over the ball 6 times and still win, that's almost unheard of when it comes to professional football. The other thing too, if you get 6 turnovers, and I believe you register 3 points off the turnovers, that's almost unheard of as well. It's like, how does this happen? So, I mean, the Elks, when they look at the game film, they're going to go, we gave them this. Gave it away. How about Jared Dagey though? Hey, he comes back, in for Arbuckle, and
what a drive.
Nice drive. They get the field goal. Now, again, Eddie, I was just over at K97. They brought up what happened at the end. And okay, now both teams are on the same sidelines, right? And Dinwiddie, he motioned some kicking thing.
Yeah, he kicked it
so everyone's
times.
Yapping and this and that. And you lose. It's heartbreaking loss, but like a lot of people were talking about it, and they said, well, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. Someone said something. And so maybe
from what I'm led to believe, and you could just by putting 2 and 2 together, Martez Ivy used to play there. He was the first guy to go and meet Dinwiddie and really be chatting with him that you could see on TV from the Double E.
Yeah.
As well as I heard that Coach Demetrius Maxey, who was the D-line coach there last year, apparently was chirping Dinwiddie a little bit too.
Okay.
And Dinwiddie, we know he's a fiery coach and he's not scared to give it back. Clearly, you saw those antics after the game. And then in his post-game media avail, he went on to, and he said something similar to this earlier in the season. He said, I was just fired up about some pretenders who aren't in our building anymore that were over there talking. Not a full quote exactly, but something roughly. And that's, he said that about his guys in the locker room. I remember like a month ago, he's like, I think we got some pretenders in the building, guys who talk a big game, but they don't play it. So, hey, man, he's a fiery coach.
Yeah. And again, like there's always going to be players that are heated. You just lost a game on the last second. You lost a game where you gave it away. You pissed it away. And you lost a game where, as I said, quite likely that could be the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs.
I'll tell you what, I'd be very pissed if I saw him running in front of my bench after losing a game like that, especially a defensive play. Oh, I'd be so hot, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
so hot,
absolutely,
man. Like, for sure, I would have been a guy who ran out into that scruffle, man.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's disgusting. And then he comes running in front, kicking. Like, come on, get out of here. That is a problem with the East, though, KK.
Yeah.
Is having both teams on the same sideline. Every stadium in the East is like that. And there's going to be issues. And it just sucks as a player because if you have to do substitutions, for example, and you're at one of the goal lines that's far away from you, the opposite goal line, and you have to run, that's like a 75-yard sprint by the time you get down for the play and stuff. Yeah. Like, if you have to hustle, it's a far way to go.
We had on In or Out, I believe, on Friday, Eddie, about Justin Rankin, 150 yards from scrimmage, finished with 35. And this is after, he had 200 rushing yards a week prior. What did Toronto do, or just Rank the Tank couldn't get on track? What do you think?
Well, clearly Toronto made him the focal point of you have to stop him. Very similar to how I was saying you hold Arbuckle to under 300 passing, which they did. You should win the game. So one turnover. We'll get to that. But with Rank the Tank, Toronto they really buckled down. You're not going to pop off every game. And if you look at the history this season with Rank, he's actually known to have a couple of these. I'm not going to say dud games, but games where there's zero production. If you look at the stats, he'll go for one of these every 4 or 5 games, but then he'll pop off for the most part everywhere else. Now, when he goes for these games, KK, that's when you need other guys to step up. Yeah. That's when you need to get creative, leak the ball other than just handing it off to him like you treat him like Rankin. Even when Rank's not feeling it, keep them both in the backfield like you've said and just use them and go play off of each other.
Make the defense think. We got both guys on.
Honestly, KK, the last time they did it, had both guys in. They scored a touchdown, and it's because the threat to leak, it froze the linebacker's feet, and Rankin could get downhill.
So that turnover you're talking about, the strip sack, Derek Parrish got to Cody Fajardo, Andrew Chatfield, easy recovery and easy touchdown. And that's the difference in the game in the sense of where the score was at that time, momentum, everything else.
Rarely do you see it, especially as such a noticeable blunder, but this one was, and I hate to do it because he's a brother, but David Beard had a terrible play.
Yeah.
He got beat bad on the blitz and then just fall on the ball, Beardo.
Yeah.
It was kind of a 2-for-1 on that play. He had a chance to get that ball back, and he couldn't get it back. Yeah. And he was the first guy who had it dead to rights.
And pretty clean. It wasn't like it was contested.
It was clean.
Yeah.
And then again, he gave up. He's the one who gave up the pressure to Cody to begin with, right on a delayed blitz, something he should have seen, but his footwork was just poor and his feet got caught up.
How much do you think? Because it seems like, between David Beard and Mark Cordy going back and forth from center to guard, it's been happening several times, right, this year?
Yeah, it's
and I mean, there was an injury too.
Yeah, a couple of games. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, to be honest, because both those guys are vets. You can do it. You're a savvy vet. You can get the job done. That was just a bad play.
Yeah.
And it happens. And you don't see many bad plays out of him. It's just unfortunate that it was that costly. It's a rarity. This whole game, it's an anomaly. And where I'm at is it sucks. It's a heartbreaker, but you got to crumple it up and toss it, because never in a football game can you be this dominant and lose. It's such, and you said it off the jump. This is under a 1% type football game.
6 turnovers.
6 turnovers, and you have one, but the one that you have is the biggest.
Yeah. So 6 turnovers, I believe 3 points, right? And 1 turnover, 7 points.
Yeah.
So
boom.
Text line 833-401-1440. Stair Farmers checks in. Good morning, boys. Congrats on 500 shows and many, many more to come. Thanks for that. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne here and talk to Eddie as well about their big night on Saturday where they went to Morgan Wallen. Also, text right here from Joey. Good morning, KK. I just want to let you know that I will not be lectured today by Eddie. I tuck my jeans into my cowboy boots steel.
Ooh.
Felony offense straight to the big house. Duke, you saw this
already there.
Picture as well?
I did see this picture as well. Tough scene for Eddie, but it self-admitted not a cowboy boot guy. But he wanted to get all yeehawed up.
Give us some time.
Try and appropriate my culture.
Yeah.
And go out on the town, and he makes himself a fool in the process.
So what happened with this?
Why? So first of all, man, I don't have jeans that are just the size of pylons out here like most cowboys. So I don't have jeans that can just slide over a big pair of cowboy boots. I tried it at home. in the boot at the top was like sticking out through the jean. Like, you could see the imprint. It just looks super robotic and not good. You know what I mean? Like you could just see the top of the boot, the imprint all through my jean.
That is so that's also a faux pas, because you shouldn't, if you're wearing cowboy boots, you should not be wearing jeans that are skinny enough at the bottom.
I don't have anything.
So why did you have to wear cowboy boots then?
I was going, man. I definitely shouldn't have. But it's all good. I embraced it. But honestly, I was standing there, and the people I was with, they were in line getting drinks and stuff, and I was just posted up, just people watching, and I just was looking around, and I was conscious of this going in, like wondering what to do, how to wear these. And I not a single fella had it tucked like me. I left it too. I let it ride. And I looked probably so funny, man.
The only thing that's missing is that like the little kid's cowboy hat with the whistle on the bottom.
That's what's I was chatting about this with some of the boys at hockey last night. How events like this, like a big country concert, when CFR is in town, PBR events, you see it at the Stampede if you head down to Calgary during the start of July, like all the corporate cowboys or the closet cowboys, they come out, and some of the, like Eddie, fashion choices, which I'm far from an expert on, but I usually know a lot of the haves and have-nots, particularly with some Western wear, and like the cowboy hats are comedic. I saw one guy walking down the street wearing like the Calgary Stampede, pure glistening white with the red band cowboy hat, lots of Coors Light out of the beer box cowboy hats. I'm not a cowboy. I don't wear a cowboy hat. And so I don't think you have to. If you can like Morgan Wallen, or even just go to take in a big event like this, you don't have to get all dolled up in that. Just wear what you would normally wear to go to a concert.
I'll tell you. Go on.
One quick, I saw the picture of Morgan Wallen and Connor McDavid.
That was from Friday night.
Friday night. Now, I didn't see Morgan Wallen didn't have a cowboy hat on.
No, because he's not a cowboy.
So why does someone like Eddie think he's a cowboy and wear these boots?
Because he wants to fit in. He wants to be a part of the experience. And to me, you don't have to put on cowboy boots or your best Wranglers or a plaid shirt or a cowboy hat.
So okay, let me tell you why I even have cowboy boots. So
let me tell
you why.
Is this like a Seinfeld bit, like you were doing a speaking engagement?
No. Justin Sorensen. We all know big Justin Sorensen, former teammate. His mom is big time down in Red Deer with Agribition and whatnot. There was a big show last year or the year before. I forget when he got him. But these boots are like $275, and he found them size 14, big for me, wide, and he got them for $20, and he just gave them to me. So
Eddie, I'm saying these look like nice boots. That's not the issue. I'm glad I
wore them for comfort. They were comfy. It was bad though. It was honestly, I know it was
honestly
bad.
It
was bad.
That's actually funny.
It was
is because people might think like you're just doing it as a bit, which would be funny, even though you weren't.
Yeah, they see the guns though, and I don't know where their eyes are. Their eyes at the boots or the guns.
Well,
bang, bang, bang.
Okay, now the picture, I think Steph is in the picture that I saw as well. And I mean, just even the look on her, it's just like the look of horror.
Don't do me like that.
Like, why am I sitting beside this guy?
Hey, well, she definitely advised me just probably not to wear them. Because I was pan in, pan out. I was standing in front of her, one tucked, one over top. It was bad.
Duke, okay, if this, just pretend this was a friend of yours, a good friend that you were going to the concert with.
Right.
Would you have said, okay, go buy another pair of jeans?
If let's just say we were all meeting at someone's house beforehand and having a couple drinks or all carpooling down, and we're getting up ready to leave the house, and I see that my friend is wearing his boots like Eddie was, I 100% would say, why are you wearing them like that? And he would say, oh, they're too tight to fit over the outside. I would say, then put on a pair of running shoes.
Yes. It's just like that scene from Good Will Hunting, right? And who were these friends of yours that let you do this?
But the boots are so wide up top. Maybe it's because they're not broken in, but I don't know if there's a pant big enough. Like, honestly,
well, yeah, Eddie, they're called boot cut.
There we go.
You and your cigarette leg jeans that you wear.
I'm a city boy.
They're a little too
city boy.
But so Eddie, I will give you a little bit of defense. If you had decided to somehow try and put them over top, that is something that has become more common on the pop culture scene, not so much with actual Western workers and ranchers, that they do wear skinnier jeans over top of their boots, and it's tight. and it goes down, like it doesn't go all the way down to the heel like a traditional boot cut jean would. But I don't know if maybe yours were maybe even a little too tight for that.
I was people watching, man. I was not drinking. I was sober, and I was just people watching for 4 straight hours. And I saw thousands of men in all their boots were jeans over.
Oh, man. Unbelievable. Coming up on the big program today, we'll have our usual suspects to lead things off. Alan Mitchell, the Lowdown with Low Tide. You hear him every day here on Sports 1440 from 12 till 2. Mark Spector will be with us at 8 o'clock. Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated covers the Las Vegas Raiders. That'll be our game of the day. 2 games in the NFL tonight. We'll talk a lot about the NFL. I've got a story, too, from Friday night, Eddie, that I'm going to tell you from the Golden Bears game. I went to the Bears game, and this is... unfortunately, it's kind of one of those location stories. Like if you were there, you'd go, this is amazing. So anyway, Zach Lang from Oilers Nation and Connor Halley in the 10 o'clock hour from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Gregor Show. When we come back, Alan Mitchell will be with us. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 721 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne and Eddie Steele with you on a Monday morning. In time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. The plumber to call when the toilet mysteriously breaks after your jalapeno pepper popper fueled game night with the fellows. That's mrrooter.ca. As we welcome in our leadoff man on a Monday morning, Alan Mitchell. You hear him every day from 12 to 2 right here on Sports 1440. Morning Tide. How about your Eagles? 2-0, baby.
Oh, I love it. I love it. There's, I can't remember his name. He's second round pick in the 2025 draft. DB comes over like he came from Laredo. A nice little pass in the flat by the Chiefs, and he stopped him stone cold. Oh my God! I was yelling at the TV. I was jumping up and down, and I looked at the guy's name and I'd forgotten, but he was great.
Is it Cooper DeJean? I don't know. Is that who it is? Second rounder?
No, it's another guy. It's another guy.
The other DB they just got Quinion Mitchell. Yeah,
no,
Quinion.
He's second round pick in the 2025 draft.
Okay.
Got a different name. I can't remember it, but I swear he made a great damn play, and they got another one. Boys, they got another one. I'm telling you, Roseman is a genius.
He is.
Man, that was good.
No, how he is a genius. He really is, especially from the trenches on out. He drafts linemen when, not necessarily need, and pulling the trigger on trades and stuff. They have a well-rounded team. And Nick Sirianni seems to, so far, have kept his cool, but it's easy to do that when you're 2-0.
Well, they can replace. The Sirianni's the most replaceable part on the team. I mean, I'm sorry, but he is.
Is it Andrew Makuba?
That's it.
Hey!
Makuba. 24, I think. Just came over the line. Watch the play. Man, it is so damn good. And he's a kid. And he did it.
And I've been watching all this 4K video of the tush pushes in Philadelphia jumping the gun all the time.
You cheaters, you, huh?
Come on, Tide.
I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, they keep playing like they're playing. They can beat up Santa Claus every night. I don't care.
Hey, Ty, did you see the end of the game last night, that Atlanta-Minnesota game? And they were interviewing the three players of the game, I guess you could call it, for Atlanta. And one of them was the kicker, this Parker Romo guy, had 5 field goals. And they're interviewing him. And I think it's Melissa Stark doing the interviewing. And she says something to the effect of, you just kind of got here. And so it's Bijan Robinson, Parker Romo, and then Leonard Floyd. And this Romo guy goes, who are you? I don't even know what your name is, he said to Leonard Floyd. And they go, nice to meet you, he says at the end. Yeah.
And that's not even a joke. That's like how it would be.
That's exactly. If you see the video, you're going to laugh. It's quite hilarious. So
that's good.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ty, did you watch any of the Oiler rookie games on the weekend? Or
I did. I didn't catch them all. I was doing hither and yon, but I can tell you this isn't breaking news, but Matt Savoy is ready for the next level. Now he has to come to main camp and make the team, but he was dominant. He scored a couple of goals, could have had 2 or 3, could have had 4 assists last night if he was playing with guys who could cash. But it was, there was the players who should have performed well did. Ike Howard was a little shy. But you know what? He has no pro experience, so I think he was getting his feet wet. He was not as impressive as you'd like him to be. But pretty much everybody else who was expected to perform, Damon Carfagna, Bo Akey, certainly Savoy was terrific. They had good players up and down the lineup, but the second and third pairings were basically invites, and they recovered a little bit in game 2, but they were exposed in the Edmonton game, which is too bad. The Oilers kind of dropped the ball there. They needed, I think, to have another couple of defenders who could play at that level. The Flames came in here with a pretty established team, a bunch of guys who will end up playing for the Wranglers in the AHL this year, and the Oilers rookie defensemen just weren't ready for it. That's not their fault. That's an organizational misfire, in my opinion.
Now, Low Tide, someone that I read that showcased pretty well over the weekend was Viljami Marhala.
Yeah.
I hear he's pretty high skilled. Do you know anything about this player?
Yeah, I do. He was drafted in 2021 by Buffalo, a depth draft pick, but he's a very fine player, really good speed, 44 assists in the Legion last year. It's a huge number. And what I noticed about him in this game was he had a great breakaway goal, but even more than that, he handled the puck, passed the puck well, really good speed. They played him in the middle, not on the wing. There was a lot about Marhala that was very exciting. And boys, he's 22. So it's not like he's a 26-year-old guy. He's got time to develop here. He'll spend time in Bakersfield, I guarantee, this year. But he is an up-and-coming player and Stan Bowman might have found one. Buffalo, has a lot of talent because they draft high, and they may have overlooked somebody here in Marhala. We'll see. I mean, you can get excited about a rookie tournament and be disappointed. I've been there, boys, but I thought Marhala played very well.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You get to a main camp, and then the bullets start to fly. Get to the preseason where you're playing against NHL players, and you mentioned like Savoy, and like this is a guy, he should be dominating at this camp, and he, as you say, he's standing out. So that's what we're seeing. So far.
And they had like the Lafreniere, who was a draft pick just this past summer, played really well. So did Lewandowski, the German center Szymanski, big fellow. He didn't, maybe deliver as much offense as you'd like, but he can play the game, and he's got good speed. Big 6'5" centers. They usually make the NHL at some level. If you'd been 6'5", Karius, you would have made the NHL.
Yeah, right.
Now, hey, Low Tide, those Blue Jays, how you feeling about the sweep over the weekend? That puts a little bit of room, loosens the sphincter a little bit here down the stretch. It's a nice weekend they had.
They're doing just everything right. This is a team. You know what? It reminds me that Low Tide needs to shut his damn mouth about things, because last winter I was like poking holes in the Jays management and manager and general manager, saying, what the hell are they doing? They're going to lose Vladdy. It's just all falling apart here. And what the hell do I know? I mean, everything is coming up Millhouse for this team. And, the Yankees are sputtering. The Red Sox are playing well when they get the pitching, but that's not every night. And the Jays are doing it. They are, Gosman. Oh my God. Did you see him the other night? This team has, they just got to keep it going. But there was a period where they were down by 2. I think last week we talked, and it was like, okay, they're down by 2. They got to do it. And they really have done the job. And now the heat's on everybody else. But we're close enough now to the end of the season that Jays fans can take heart in a postseason berth, but also they may win the division. And that's a hell of an accomplishment in a division that can, includes 2 of the big money teams in Boston and New York.
And we don't want to overlook things, but it's not a far stretch to say they should have a pretty successful series against Tampa here coming up.
Tampa's had their number, though.
Have they?
Well, Tampa's tough, right? They got the Caminero hits a home run every night, and their pitching's okay. It's that blasted ballpark they're in. I assert the pitcher's ERA, but their pitching is pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like Trey Yasevich is quite likely going to get the start. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I think it sort of has on some sites. But so they call this guy up from the minors. The bad thing about Trey Yasevich is every time that he starts in a new league and moves up the rung, his first start performance, whatever it is, he gets lit up. So we'll see what he does tonight.
He has, I guess, he probably won't pitch 5 is what I'm saying, but he's up against a guy named Joe Boyle who walks the earth. Honest to God, he's like Forrest Gump. Remember when he walked all over the world? That's Joe Boyle. So it should be an offensive big fire tonight in Tampa.
He's speaking of home runs. Cal Raleigh ties Mickey Mantle. I thought this was a record that I wasn't sure could be broken. 54 home runs for a switch hitter. A couple weeks left here. I would imagine he's going to at least get another 1 or 2. So he's going to break the record by the great Mickey Mantle here, Tide.
And let's remember he's doing it as a catcher. He does DH sometimes, but he catches a lot, and that's the toughest position on the field, and so he's had a year for the ages, and I thought he peaked a year ago. So this is a guy who's just out of sight, and he's having a like a Johnny Bench 1970 year.
Yeah, unreal.
Did you get a chance to see that Elks loss, Tide?
Yeah, it's disappointing. They are a young team in terms of the coaching staff coming together, in terms of some of the players on the field, but you can't lose that game that way. You fumble the ball, you kick a field goal instead of push. You've got to be if you want to make the playoffs, you got to be aggressive. And I think that was an opportunity waste. It's a bitter pill. Now, it doesn't mean the end. They can fight back, but they worked so hard to get there. and it was I think it was especially with BC's result, it was very disappointing. But they've done so much. I hope fans take heart. This is an emerging team, and there are going to be some stumbles. There always are when you're building something. And the Elks definitely want that one back. That was a cruel twist of fate in the end of that game.
Well, and then when you look at the standings, they're just one loss back of BC, but BC's already won the season series here. So that's basically 2 losses back.
I'm not even looking at BC. I'm looking at Winnipeg because they are going to go south fast. Strevler's going to be their guy at quarterback. And either or with Zach or Chris Strevler, they have the number 1 and number 2 interception throwers in the league. And it's those 2 guys. Yeah.
And they lost to Hamilton on Friday night, 32-21 was the final there. BC beat Ottawa 38-27. Then we know the 31-30 score for the Elks. But Eddie, what about Montreal going into Saskatchewan?
Yeah,
pounding them.
Yeah, I mean that's you know what, that's I think Eddie would know better than me, but I think that's looking past a little bit. I mean, Montreal has had a tough run here, so they probably were a little pissed off about what had happened recently. But if you're the Rough Riders, I mean, the Saskatchewan for me has been the class of the league for some time now, several weeks, 2 months, I don't know. So that was a shocker game, but credit to the Alouettes. They came out east and they came out west and they won the darn thing.
When it comes to that Alouettes game, let me hit you guys with some stats really quick. Tyson Philpott, 9 catches. The quarterback threw him 9 passes. He caught every ball, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns. He feasted on Exume. It was all on one player for the Riders. And if you watch the highlights, it's a tough game. It's a one that you want to bury fast because he got torched.
So maybe he's not the starter in a week or two. You never know. The great thing about the Canadian Football League is, you watch the game and you see stars emerge and something like that, that could ignite the Alouettes. They could go on a real run here, and they needed it. They were, I think they were not the team that we thought they were, certainly during the middle part of the year. Maybe that'll ignite them a little bit.
Well, and again, Davis Alexander, he's been missing for several weeks now. They've got a lot of injuries in Montreal, a lot of injuries. What's coming up on the lowdown today, Tide?
Well, we were going to have Rachel Dory, but we're going to move it back a couple of weeks, boys. So Rachel will be on end of September, but we do have Jason Greger, who is a fine fellow, and we're going to talk to him about the Elks, about the Oilers, about the rookies, about the NFL. There's so many great NFL stories to talk about. I think we'll lead with the Miami Dolphins. What a terrific program! But no, we're going to have a lot of fun today, and we're going to talk about NFL teams. Is it ever a time to panic this early in a season? And maybe in some quarters it is. So we'll talk about that. I think we'll drill down honestly a little bit on the Chicago Bears today.
Wow. Well, even you think about Kansas City now. Kansas City 0-2, first time since 2014. It's tough.
Well, that's the schedule, though. You're playing the Eagles.
Exactly.
God, you can't win that game.
Whatever.
I mean, there is some truth, though. Like Eagles, and then your other game is in Brazil. Like it's an odd start for sure.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, never when you go to Brazil, you're not thinking football. You know what we're thinking. It's
what are we thinking, Tide?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it out loud, boys. When I have a radio career later today.
Just holding the feet to the fire a bit.
That's good stuff. All right, Tide. Thanks, man.
All right. Be good, boys.
That's Alan Mitchell. You hear him every day, 12 to 2. And the headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter, your top defense pairing against leaks. That's MrRooter.ca. There's so many storylines yesterday when you think about the NFL. I mean, the Dallas Giants game was crazy.
Oh, their kicker is
Aubrey Pounds went from 64.
He's a cheat code.
Yeah. And then that's to tie it. The Giants thought they had him, man. And then win it with 48-yard field goal, or 46, something like that.
Just quickly on Aubrey. Yeah. I love when a kicker has a C on his chest, the captain, because, clearly you're a beast when you get that.
Yeah. There were 4 games yesterday where number 1 quarterback drafted. 4 games head to head. I got to think of them now.
I know it would have been Jacksonville.
Yeah. Cincy, right?
Yep.
I'm going to find it out, but I saw it was 4. Duke, can you think of anything? I'll just go through the. Actually,
you got me out of nowhere.
I know. I just saw that. It was so Jacksonville, Cincy. That's one of them. The other one that top of mind,
LA and Tennessee,
Chicago, Detroit,
LA, Tennessee. Yeah, the Rams
and Carolina and Arizona.
Carolina, Arizona.
What about Chicago, Detroit? Goff was first, wasn't he?
Yep, that's correct.
There you go. That's the 4.
Yeah.
Look at you guys. See, way to work, Eddie.
Yeah, well done, boys.
Very, very good. Also had to mention the ATB Classic. Duke was there Friday, and how was it?
I actually did not end up making. When I was leaving the show here, I had some unforeseen circumstances. I had to do some running around right after, so I didn't make it out, unfortunately. But I saw some footage from our sales rep here inside the building, Kimberly. She was out there all weekend, and it looked like the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar looked sick. I was absolutely green with jealousy that it didn't end up getting out there. But the results turned out pretty good.
Yeah, Michael Brennan, 19 under, shot a 74 on Saturday too. Top Canadian, Hunter Thompson, and he was on Low Tide Show on Wednesday, pardon me. He was a T14, finished at 13 under. So I just also want to mention, before we go to break, we had him on the show here a couple of months ago. Our friend Jim Baba passed away on Friday. Jim Baba was the executive director for Baseball Canada for well over 2 decades. I never met anyone that knew so much about baseball, and man, this guy, it was just unbelievable. Like, and people don't realize how much he's done for the game in our country. It was enough that he was mentioned on the Blue Jays broadcast on Friday night. So if you mention a guy like that on that passed away, and it was a Friday night, and he's been in our baseball draft for a long time.
Jim from here?
Jim is originally from Moose Jaw. He was originally from Moose Jaw. Then ended up to, lots with baseball in Saskatchewan, and then moved out to Ottawa to take over. But he did so many things on the worldwide baseball, as far as like even the World Baseball Classic, he was involved with that. And he was one of the instrumental guys to get women's baseball going in Canada again. But just this guy knew baseball, loved baseball. That was his passion and stuff. So condolences to Mitch and the family and everybody. Passed away on Friday at the age of 69. So I just wanted to maybe mention that. When we come back, we'll get to some more football talk with Eddie. Also, I got to tell the story, Eddie, from Friday night. I just think it's a neat story.
Can't wait to hear it.
It's something really neat, and I kind of actually thought of you for a little bit, and I just thought of some other players that have played, university football, and I'm kind of wondering how. And it had a Friday Night Lights kind of theme to it. So we'll tell that story when we come back. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sani dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned, with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie, and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
It's the final weekend of the Bricks Famous Tent Sale. Now save up to 70% off clearance items in the tent and store, with more amazing deals arriving daily in every department, like up to $1,800 off power reclining sectionals and up to $700 off big screen TVs. Buy more, save more when you buy 2 or more major appliances, up to $1,000 off. Plus, get a free Bluetooth party speaker when you spend $9.99 or more on furniture. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Bricks, saving you more.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
It's time to learn those ABCs and CRVs. Sherwood Honda can tutor you on fuel efficiency, reliability, comfort, and style. With all those drop-offs and pickups and practices, back to school means you hardly have time to park before you're back on the road. But it's a lot more fun doing it in the new ride. And when you do the math, Sherwood Honda adds up to the best deal you'll find. You sure would move to the head of the class and become a Rhodes Scholar with a lesson from Sherwood Honda.
Hi, I'm Jeff Davison, CEO of the Prostate Cancer Center. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Here in Alberta, 1 in 6 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. But if caught early, it's one of the most treatable forms of cancer. The Prostate Cancer Center is committed to saving lives by providing free PSA blood testing on our man van, Alberta's only mobile men's health clinic. This September, talk to the men in your life about getting checked for prostate cancer. A simple blood test could save a life. Visit getcheck.ca to find a clinic near you.
Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 744 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, and Eddie Steele with you on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube. Thanks for this text, Brent. Just texted in, hey, Kevin, just heard you mention the Jim Baba passed away Friday. I'm devastated. I grew up and played Little League ball with Jim and Moose Chow. Great player, great friend. In the baseball fraternity, we will all miss Jim. Regards, Brent. Yeah, I mean, this guy, he was an amazing, amazing baseball guy, amazing person. So text 833-401-1440. Montana to Rice says, hey, 2-0 Karius. McCarthy looked great last night. Eddie as well. Brutal. Clay texts in, morning KK, just doubling back here on JJ McCarthy. Are you still on the bandwagon? I'll take my comment back. He's worse than average, from Clay. Well, I don't recall me saying that I was on the McCarthy bandwagon. I said last week when they came back and won that game that the first half or so he looked like a college quarterback, but found a rhythm and found a groove in the fourth quarter. He scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
but
let it come back.
I don't think I ever said that McCarthy's going to be the next second coming of whoever.
Look, he's 1-1 as a starter. The reality, though, he's only had 1 good quarter out of 8.
Sure.
It hasn't been pretty, but it'll come. It'll come. He's got a good coach, and there's a reason that they selected him. He's got the tools. You can see the tools sometimes, but it has been terrible so far. It has. Can't sugarcoat it.
Adam Schefter, and this is a great comment about Indy. How about Indy? Colts are the first team in the Super Bowl era to not punt in either of their first 2 games in a season.
Holy Daniel Jones.
Hey, not punt.
Buddy.
What's going on here, Duke? We'll see what happens in this little division.
Who'd you guys go with out of winners tonight? Chargers over Raiders or Bucks over Houston?
Well, Duke,
who do you like in those games?
We have to do our picks yet, Duke and I. And
I actually had this as one of our inner out topics for today.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cutting your grass.
Okay. That's okay.
Put it on pause.
Yeah. Okay. We'll figure that out later. Well, because you got to do your pick because
Exactly.
you missed.
I missed. I forgot. Yeah, busy. A guy gets
when
busy.
you don't pay your entry fee. What do you care?
Touche.
Yeah, you don't care.
You're a little loose.
Yeah, looser than cream corn. Eddie.
Woo-wee.
I got to tell you this story. So Friday night, so I went to the Bears football game with my buddy Grant Jongajan, former Bear. We go to the tailgate, and thanks to Terry Cordy and everyone there, it was pretty good. Kickoff 6:30. So we are, we had a couple pops, and now it's 6:30, and we're going up to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just in the parking lot there, and I think a lot of people, our listeners, would know Footfield. Eddie, you obviously do.
For sure.
So we're walking across to go to up the ramp.
Yep.
About a 1970 Ford truck is driving up, and there's a kid behind the wheel. Kind of looks just like, this is Friday Night Lights, man. It's a set 1970 Ford, like it's been restored a little bit. It looks not too bad, but like he's looking kind of, it just out of place, right? And he's driving up to the roundabout where you could buy tickets and things like that. So you know exactly where I'm talking. So I said now we go through and we're walking up the railing, up the ramp, and I look down and I see this kid get out of this truck. And he's kind of got long blondish hair. And he's just like right out of Friday Night Lights.
Sunshine.
Yeah. There's, something like, and I'm like, this ain't adding up here. And I look and he gets out and he's got a pair of red shorts on and I can see the number 46. I said to Jongajan, I said, that guy's playing tonight. And he goes, not a chance. He's not playing. He's playing. So some guy comes down from the tunnel and he kind of flips his keys to this guy and he reaches out in the back of his truck and he grabs a little sort of a knapsack. And now he kind of goes down the tunnel. Well, we get in, they have the national anthem. And this guy, number 46, runs out around and starts doing jumping jacks to warm up.
Wow.
And anyway, I would go in and get a program and there's a scratch. And then there's a guy written in pencil, Max Williston.
Huh.
That's his name. So he
Cool.
came in. I was thinking of you. I thought a lot of the other guys that were,
Came in hot.
and Jason Beulah, who used to play for the Huskies and Bears, he was there. And we were laughing, and we told the story so many times that night to other alumni that were coming in. But it was so funny, and when to see this kid,
trying to warm up and stuff.
Okay, so something happened to this other guy that got
for
scratched.
sure. Yeah.
Either got sick, maybe there was some
Got
sort
a
of
call,
family
so he
thing,
came
whatever.
in. Yeah.
So this guy comes up, drives all the way from Calgary in this 1970, probably doesn't have money for gas. We said this gas guzzler, he had to probably stop at Red Deer to fill up.
I bet he puts his pants over his boots. That's cool. That's slick, man.
Yeah.
That's slick. Probably a linebacker, hey?
Yeah.
46 with a number like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then just VIP just tosses the key because they told him to. They said just pull up right to the roundabout. We'll deal with your car.
Well, but think about this. Like this kid's like, I'm thinking, okay, let's. What about this GPS in this 1970? He's probably driving, and like just to even think about, okay, where am I parking? Well, like, how am I?
Well, that's why they
stadium?
said just pull right up,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure out a parking spot because you can't waste 10, 15 minutes looking for a parking spot.
Well,
you
yeah.
got to get in, get changed.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense. That's cool though.
Yeah,
That's all. I had dreams, nightmares of that, like showing up late for games. and
Really?
stuff. Oh man. Yeah.
yeah. So like this would be a guy that would have been. And when you go on the road, how many players can you take? Like,
42,
Okay.
46.
Yeah.
There's 42 man roster, and then you got 4 spares.
right. So I don't know. Like we watched for this guy. We were watching for him to see if he was going to get in. Obviously, he was probably a spare or special teamer or something. So I just thought it was kind of a neat story.
That is, and you got it too. Like
Yeah.
the fact that
I
the
said,
timing
this
as
ain't
you're
this-
going up the ramp, and
This
it's
guy,
just perfect.
yeah, there's something fishy here or whatever, and then he gets out and
Pretty
and
slick.
again.
And it was probably pretty busy right around there. Hey,
Well,
people
yeah,
going
it
up the ramp.
was-
So
yeah, like, and he's trying to
he had
get
an audience.
Through.
Yeah,
he's trying to get through.
That's cool.
HVAC Nick says Jongajan, the bomb tech. He coached me years ago at FX playing high school football. Yeah. Matt Leduc says the Bengals fans today aren't about to dig their own grave, but they're definitely starting to burrow, meaning Joe Burrow.
There it is. Well played.
3 months for Joe Burrow, they're saying.
That's a wrap.
Okay, turf toe. Is it like a broken toe?
I don't know. It can be pretty severe. I've had it once.
You're gonna have
really
surgery,
bad.
correct?
Yeah. See, that's where I don't know. Things are different in the NFL because like I've played through stuff that probably required surgery, but I kind of just didn't do it. I think when these guys have all this money on the line and their contracts, surgery is like they'll go in for surgery for the littlest things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of just kind of playing through things. And I'm not saying that they're not warriors, nothing like that. It's just different the way they go in right for imaging right away, and they treat everything kind of maybe overly sensitive a little bit, to be honest.
But 3 months, like to me, that's a long time.
I had a really bad case of turf toe, and I was getting it was getting shot up every week for a couple of weeks. I had to get this. It wasn't an orthotic, but it was an insert, and at the pretty much the midway point in the foot on up through the toe, it was just a steel plate, so you couldn't bend because the turf toe is when you bend and put all that pressure on your big toe knuckle. It's just you can't. So it's like this big steel plate kept my foot flat, and I just played with that and got it taped and lots of needles.
Would you have been able to jam this turf toe into those cowboy boots?
Yeah, because they were 4E, size 14, 4E wide. That's why it was a good choice for footwear.
Oh, man.
And the Concourse was a Stampede, so I'm glad I had those on. Yee-haw!
Oh, Duke, what are we going to do with this guy, eh?
What are
we going to do with this guy?
It was quite something.
As long as Eddie had a good time, that's all that matters.
Looking back, it actually was quite the spectacle. People thought, who is this guy?
He's a big deal.
Army Darrell says you don't tuck your pants into cowboy boots, Eddie.
Army Darrell, I don't? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Of course, Army Darrell says that.
Matt Leduc, Eddie, you played through because you're made of steel.
No, I honestly, like, I don't know. It's just different to me. Maybe there's more, the contracts are guaranteed, so there's less of a fear of, sitting out due to injury. Because I saw it a lot with a lot of guys up here, and it's just different. Injuries are treated a little bit differently, and they're just more willing to go under the needle a lot, or under the knife a lot more quicker down there.
Top of the hour, we'll have Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet checking in, and we'll go in or out with Eddie. Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated in the 9 o'clock hour covers the Vegas Raiders. Also Zach Lang and Connor Halley in the 10 o'clock hour. Before all of that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Edmonton Oilers rookie club losing in Calgary last night, 5-4 the final score. Tommy Lafreniere scoring for the Oilers in the loss in what was the second of two high-scoring tilts against Flames. Rookies. NFL week number 2, full slate of games yesterday, wrapping up with Minnesota losing to Atlanta 22-6. The final, Minnesota held out of the end zone over the course of the contest. Elsewhere across the slate yesterday, Cincinnati beating Jacksonville 31-27. Tough blow for the Bengals, though, as Joe Burrow leaves the game with turf toe, expected to undergo surgery and miss the next 3 months. Dallas and New York, an absolute shootout between the Giants and Cowboys. Dallas takes it 40-37 in overtime. Detroit over the Bears 52-21, and Baltimore gets past Cleveland 41-17. From the majors yesterday, Blue Jays finished off the sweep of the Orioles 11-2. The final, Shane Bieber picking up the victory. Elsewhere, Guardians beating the White Sox 3-2. Tigers blanket the Marlins 2-0. Rays losing to the Cubs from Chicago 4-3. Mariners were the Angels 11-2. And the Red Sox get one back off the Yankees 6-4. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free Radio Player app and listen wherever you go.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep, it's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touch screen, keyless entry, and heated front seats, all starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow, oranges, and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for. Call Mr. Rooter.
What sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
At Fountain Tire, you can save $50 off tire storage with the purchase of 4 select tires now until September 30th at participating locations. Okay. Or you could squeeze them into your backseat, possibly causing upholstery damage, drive them home, struggle, sweating buckets trying to get them out of your vehicle, resulting in you feeling guilty for not going to the gym more often, or at all. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Totally up to you.
Definitely $50 off the tire storage.
You got it. Book your appointment today at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
For all things golf carts, it's the Golf Cart people. Their certified techs provide expert service from maintenance to custom upgrades. Customers can explore the sales floor for new and used Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go models. The Golf Cart people stock a wide variety of parts and accessories to keep every ride in top shape and offer convenient rentals for tournaments, weddings, and festivals. Trusted for sales, service, parts, accessories, and rentals since 1997. Visit the Golf Cart people at golfcartpeople.com, your complete golf cart solution.
It's time to rev up your engines at the Finning Sales Event, Tuesday, September 23rd. Take advantage of event exclusives and score big with 0% financing. Demo the latest Cat heavy-duty equipment as they celebrate 100 years. Plus, you can pick up your perk with every equipment purchase, $2,000 in additional discounts or free select attachments. Big machines, big savings, big fun. That's Tuesday, September 23rd. Edmonton Finning, 10910 170th Street Northwest.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8 o'clock in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We're streaming on YouTube, on X with Josh Fenwick and Sam the Record Man. Fellas, good to see you here again in studio. Even you too, Josh.
Ooh, you sure about that? Fenny?
Hey? Oh, he just flipped the bird at me. Isn't that something? Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. In September, Northgate is helping feed families. For every truck sold, they will feed a family of 4. Farmers and small business owners also get preferred rates in the month of September. Northgate Chevrolet, this truck's for you, as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
Boys, what's going on?
Well, busy weekend. Busy weekend. Oh
yeah, lots going on, lots of
I have a
sports. Lots.
Question for you right off the hop from a texter. This is from Rob, because I know you saw the game for sure on Friday night. But what did you think of Ike Howard in the rookie games this weekend? He did not stand out at all to me.
No.
Your thoughts, Spec, on Ike Howard?
Yeah, I was hoping, I think everyone was hoping that he would stand out as head and shoulders above, right? And it's, he didn't. There's no question. I'm not saying he played poorly. He furnished Matt Savoy with a couple of passes that he could do something with, and he was okay. But a guy that people are saying is supposed to, is going to be a help to an NHL roster this year should be very noticeable among that pedigree of player for 2 games. And Ike Howard, I didn't see the game in Calgary, but by all accounts, he didn't really stand out there either. So there's work to do for young Ike Howard if he's going to be an Edmonton Oiler this season, that's for sure.
Yeah. What about Connor Clattenburg? Did he stand out at all to you, Spec?
There you go. Right? Connor Clattenburg. What did he do in Calgary, boys? Did I miss that game?
I didn't see the game either, Spec. So just
okay. I saw the one in Edmonton, and he had 2 scraps and a goal. I'm not sure what more you want. Hey, here's a guy that gets it. He just gets it. Like him or not, we can argue whether that style of play gets you to the NHL. We can argue whether, does he have this? Does he do that? But I'll tell you whose name we're talking about this morning. It's Connor Clattenburg, because he went out in that game and he made sure everybody noticed that he was there. And that's a big part of getting your start as a young player, is having people leave the rink talking about you. And that he's good at.
Anyone else catch your eye? Spec.
A few guys. I thought, let me think back to it now. You know what? I thought the young goalie Samuel Janssen was just okay, maybe. Possibly. Obviously, Matt Savoy did stand out when he got his chances. The puck went in the net, and that's something that is his forte. He's good at that. And when he got his chance, he delivered on it. That was good. I thought Boeke was quietly just made the right play. I didn't think he stood out a whole bunch, but I thought I like when the puck was on a stick, it tended to find a safe landing place. So that was good. The one kid I thought I really liked in Calgary was that I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Hunter Burstowicz or whatever it is. I thought he was good. They like him down there, and I can see why. He looks like a nice player. So listen, I got to say this, you guys, Calgary better beat Edmonton in this rookie game, right? They've been drafting high. They've not traded away their picks. They're building. They're at the bottom of the trough here. If they're not beating Edmonton in rookie games, that's a problem. So I don't take any, it's no big deal that Calgary wins these games. It doesn't matter to me. They better win these games. They got way more prospects. They should have way better prospects.
Yeah, exactly. They got way more fine china in the cupboard.
Absolutely.
Caught you as you were taking a sip. You thought I would go on a little
Can't
longer.
add to that. Eddie, can't add. Any guy talking at me with such a good looking suit on, I just say, yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Spec. I appreciate you. For all those who want to see it, log on to YouTube and check us out.
Well, you know what? The other thing too, Spec, we've got like a camera under the desk here too. And it's got Eddie in his cowboy boots with his suit pants tucked into the cowboy boots.
Oh, buddy. I thought you were going
I
a
saw you were at
different.
Morgan Wallen this weekend. That sounds like there was that sounds like a lot of people having a lot of fun in the same place.
That's exactly what it was. It was my first concert ever at Commonwealth, so quite an experience. I'll say this: I'm not a country guy. I didn't know a single song. Maybe I've heard a couple, like just the beats, but I didn't know the tracks. It was a good experience. It was a good experience to just go and take it in. I didn't love it, but I loved going for the experience of it all. I really did.
Yeah. I love a stadium concert like that. I get it how that old stadium, you can seat. I think the number, Kev, they put in there was 66,000. Is that right?
Duke, do you have a number on that?
I don't have that makes sense, right? What's the total capacity plus another 8,000 on the floor, I would think.
I think that's what they the number that I read was 66,000. You can seat 66,000 people at Commonwealth. Yeah. You can't service them. You can't, there's not enough bathrooms.
No.
You can't sell them beers. You can't keep them. Those concourses must have been like,
it was on it. Like there were points in time you were trying to keep it civil, but like the gorilla in me wanted to just come out and move people because you got, and what happens is people see I'm big and stuff. So you just get people using me as a shield. All I'm feeling is hands in my back pushing me, trying to use me through people.
You're a fullback, Eddie.
But it was crazy, and you can't have one concourse for the up and bottom. You can't just have everybody meet in one area. It's too much.
Yeah,
that's how they built back in the 70s, right? Now there's a reasons that a big new stadium has like 3 or 4 concourses because it spreads the people out, but you can also have 3 or 4 concourses full of concessions to sell them stuff, right? Like there's not enough places to sell you stuff in Commonwealth Stadium. It's, listen, it was built in 74. What are you going to say, right?
Were you able to watch a little of the Elks game on Saturday afternoon, Spec?
I watched, a whole thing, stem to stern.
Man, this is going to be one where, depending on what happens down the stretch here, they're going to go, this is the game that could be the difference between us not making the playoffs and making the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, kind of a lot of games they lost that they weren't even in. Like this one they controlled. I thought that it really looked like a team that as much as they've won, they'd won 3 or 4 or whatever it was going in, or 4 or 5, I forget. But they didn't seize control of that game. And right down from the coaching staff, I felt like they didn't, they played a very careful game. They led the whole night, the whole game. They were getting turnovers like crazy, but they didn't take control of it. The last drive, I thought they were very conservative. I thought that Fajardo was throwing underneath. The Argos handled Rankin, and they really didn't have a great plan B after that. So, you know what? That game was in their palm of their hand, and they didn't seize it. They got no one to blame but themselves for it.
So that's why they give it away. And this is it could be a difference maker.
One of the big things too is they led the whole game essentially, and the fourth quarter they lose 17-6. You can't lose the fourth quarter 17-6. You need to finish the game, and they just didn't finish. No finish here. And you talked about how this game is a big one, and other losses they've had, KK. Well, there's 2. There's this one that's season defining, and the one against Hamilton where Keon Julian Grant dropped a touchdown.
Yeah.
Those are 2 defining losses when you look back, and unfortunately both against East teams who you should have taken care of. And Edmonton, they did everything this past weekend right. Offensively, Cody Fajardo, he was 25 of 28, 229, 2 TDs. Good numbers, but a little too conservative in terms of ball placement. He didn't really attack, like Spec said. You got to attack, stay aggressive more. Defense, you force 6 turnovers. You should win a game anytime you get 6 extra possessions, but it was that 1 turnover, Spec.
Yeah, listen, it's you when you lose the turnover battle as badly as the Argos did, you got no business winning a football game, right? That is the place where football games are won and lost. And when it's just lost, what were the turnovers? 6-1?
Yeah.
6-1. Yeah.
6-1. Like you got no business. You're never you might not play a game all year where you win the turnover battle 6-1. You gotta win when that falls your way. So yes, listen, wasteful, right? They had they gave themselves every advantage by picking off all those passes. And even though you gave up a fumble and a 7-point fumble on your only turnover, that doesn't matter. You still had 5 more than they had. You still had the ball with a minute, and 30 left driving in their end, and couldn't, you deliver a touchdown there, it's game over. And, it's a CFL, man, getting a 1-point lead or whatever it was with a minute 20 left or 15 left. That's too much time. That's too much time.
How many points did you say off turnovers did the doubly get, Kevin?
Well, pardon me, Spec?
I think almost all of them.
All their points came off turnovers, or was it?
No.
Maybe all but 3.
Well, they had 6 turnovers, Spec, but I saw a couple. I'm going to have to do a double check on this, and maybe we'll get one of the guys to do this here too. I thought there were a lot less, Spec.
The fact is they needed to capitalize more. Their offense needed to finish.
Yes.
They're off in this one. If we're going to lay blame, which it's their defense did what they needed to do, 4-6 turnovers. Special teams, I think their kicker was 3 of 3. The offense needed to finish drives with more 7s instead of 3s.
Yes, and that's what even Mark Killam. I felt like some of those interceptions, his clip after the game, some of the takeaways, touchdowns would have been better than field goals.
Boom.
There you go. So, hey, Spec, Jays tonight, after a sweep of the Orioles, they're going to send the youngster, Trey Savage, to the Hill in Tampa Bay. What do you make of this one?
Wow. Was that right? Hey, that's great. They're going to put the kid in. Well, why not? You know what? They've built themselves a little bit of cushion. They've got a full bullpen full of guys if the kid struggles after 1 or 2 innings. And let's find out if he can pitch. You got to find out if he can help you in the stretch. Maybe he can. If he can help you in the stretch, let's find out now. Because one more good arm in the bullpen, never hurts you.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting to start that kid at this time of year. That's a big start, man.
Yeah. And, he's pitched every level that he's gone to, Spec, this year. His first appearance, maybe it hasn't been a start, maybe it's been out of the bullpen, especially here in Buffalo. He was rocked his first, and then he's bounced back, and he's even gone on record saying, I don't know what it is, but it's the first, wherever my first appearance is, I have trouble. And he's nervous or whatever. Well, he's not going to be more nervous than he ever is going to be than tonight, being in the majors. So
buckle up.
The guy's got electric stuff, though. He is, he's a first-round draft pick for a reason. So,
let's go. Then let's get the bad start out of the way. But, you can't have enough arms, man, especially if he's got a real live one. Sometimes you just need one key out, in a ball game. Sometimes it's a lefty righty. Sometimes, I don't think this kid's coming in and becoming one of their playoff starters, is he? I don't think so.
No, but he could be someone that is a high leverage guy in the bullpen down the road. Could be. We talked about this guy like a Ryan Kirkring. Did it same story. Got called up late in the season in Philadelphia. And when they went to the World Series, the Phillies, he was a high leverage guy down the stretch and into the playoffs.
Let's find out what he's got, man. I don't know this kid from Adam, but like I say, if you can bolster your pitching staff at this time of year, there's not many teams are bringing up guys that help right now. They're all up already. So if you can find this guy out of your system, he can come up and help you. That's a huge advantage.
Duke just said 27 points. I don't know where I got that other stat earlier. Maybe it was
the all but 3. Yeah. Just misread it.
Yeah, I must. Yeah, all but so 27 out of their 30 points were off turnovers. But again, how many? They could have punched it in for a touchdown instead of a field goal.
7s. So Spec, now that you got to pull your socks up and get back to work over there, big fella. What's the plan for you here? I know, but season's underway here. What's the plan?
Well, I'd say the plan is they start. We've got a Sportsnet car wash, what we call a car wash, access to a bunch of Oilers tomorrow at the rink that I don't think everybody else gets. That's when you spend billions of dollars on the rights. I guess that comes with it. And then what's Wednesday, Kev? Wednesday's medical. So we'll start getting players down there Wednesday. Thursday, they're skating. Friday, they're skating. You got the weekend. I think they play Sunday against Calgary, and then I believe they play a stretch of like 5 games in 7 days. So we're into it here now.
What's this thing? Explain that a little bit more here, Spec.
So when you see promos during the season or ads of Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or one of the Blue Jays or whoever doing a Sportsnet thing, watch Sportsnet. The games are on Sportsnet. We send a big crew in here tomorrow. And they film those. I believe that Elliot and Kyle are in for the podcast. They'll be working there as well. As a Sportsnet writer, I hopefully get access to a couple of players for some one-on-one interviews. It's just part of the business now. It's the Oilers get a ton of money from Rogers Sportsnet in the regional television deal. And among other things, we get 1 day of access to the Oilers that other media don't get.
So when you say car wash, I picture the the guys. No. The players, Kevin. I'm trying to pull it together, man. I mean, for the listeners, just as a player, you're just kind of doing the rounds. Like you're talking with different people, doing the media rounds, doing all the different stations, kind of. And that's what it is. You're just doing your media.
That's what it is. We send several different people in to do several different things.
Yeah.
Right. And I have a little table in there, and I get my little 10 minutes with a couple of guys, but I'm a very small part of it. It's more about the TV people from Toronto. They send a big crew in here. Yeah, it's exactly it, Eddie. Guys, basically the Oilers players, like, remember, TV pays salaries. So the PA in every city really has to, send their players to service the TV people that are spending the billions of dollars. And I'm not sure it's not the same in every sport, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Spec. And then, we got the Barry Cates golf. Are you in that tomorrow or what?
Yeah, I think I'll do that tomorrow. I've got to slip over from Rogers out to, where are they playing? Out of Glendale?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope to play that. How about you?
Well, yeah, I think I'll be down there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's usually a lot of fun. Get a chance to golf with some of the
I think you have to confirm.
Yeah, no, I have confirmed. So,
Kevin, I think you just need to retire your sticks for the year.
No. I feel good about tomorrow. How about this little cut on Eddie from Tiger? This has just come in because you mentioned Eddie's suit here. This is from Tiger Spec. What do you call Eddie in a suit? The defendant.
The defendant.
Oh,
Tiger. Just that's
a stab. I love it.
All right, Spec. Thanks, man. We'll see you tomorrow, baby.
All right, boys.
It's Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. On the Mark, brought to you by, powered by, fueled by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Check them out at northgategm.com. This truck's for you. How about Tiger? He's coming at you there, Eddie, huh?
I like it. That's a good one. I can play the game.
Pods texts in. Did Eddie get his 85 this weekend at Red Tail?
I stink. I think I figured a couple things out, but no, I didn't.
Season's over, Eddie.
Went 92 on Saturday.
Yeah,
I think it was a 92.
I don't know.
Friday, I left before I got my score. You know how
Really?
that goes.
You left?
No, I knew it would have been low 90s for sure. Yeah. I had to peel out though.
What do you mean peel out?
Yeah, man, stuff to do, family, kids.
Like what?
I don't have time to sit and socialize all the time just right after. After taking a 4.5 hour round, I gotta get home and be a dad. It's real.
Because you had 2 rounds of golf. What else you had?
Yeah, 2 rounds of golf. Saturday was a busy one. So 10:30 tea time, home by 3, quick turnaround for the concert at Commonwealth by 7, home by 1. This is a big day.
Yeah. What time? You got home at 1 a.m?
Yeah, about 12:45.
Yeah. An old guy like you would have been all tuckered out.
Man, I'm still feeling it.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. We'll also go in or out with Eddie Steele in the 8 o'clock hour. It's Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, and Eddie Steele on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube and X.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Centre on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Centre by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got booster balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate booster ball. Peppermint, cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank. Plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
You ever done something you can't be forgiven for? Crave is the exclusive home of HBO originals, including Task, the new crime thriller from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
I'm going to take their money so we can have a better life.
Starring Emmy winner Mark Ruffalo.
If things go terribly wrong, people want to know why God let it happen.
And Emmy nominee Tom Pelfrey.
I almost thought, oh yeah, we never did anything like this.
Task, an HBO limited series. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 824 in Edmonton. Eddie's jumping, bouncing. Did you enjoy this song at the concert?
Was it played?
Well, I would imagine if you were there. That's
this is what B&D opened with.
I like B&D. They were good.
They were the highlight.
So you don't recall this song?
No.
Well, Eddie said he got there right as they were starting.
Yeah.
So he maybe just didn't catch it.
Well, I was standing in the concourse and I knew they were coming on because everybody just started running to go to their seats to the aisles.
And Duke, you enjoyed them more than Morgan Wallen?
Yeah, I did. They didn't play for very long, and I think this is because can you believe, Kevin? They're 70 years old.
Oh, really?
It's crazy. Yeah. So shout out Ronnie Dunn. Like the vocals were all there in full, 100% on like all the high notes and long runs on My Marie and stuff. Crushed it.
Maria, yeah.
But I think for them at this point, at being 70, they could still sell out touring themselves, but instead they're like, yeah, we'll pony off what are definitely going to be sold out shows, play for
way shorter
30 to 40 minutes and still take home a pretty sizable little paycheck for ourselves heading into our wonder years.
Are they Canadian or American?
No, they're
American. Yeah. He said, can I have a bear up here with you?
Bar. Aaron texts in 833-401-1440. I love hearing Eddie say, it would have been in the low 90s. He says, lipstick on a pig.
Man, I went with 92, 46, 46.
Would have been in the low 90s somewhere.
I went 46, 46. Yeah. Well, the one that on Friday where I peeled out, I went like 52, 43 or 44. It was ugly.
Takeaways from week 2 of the NFL, and you got to do your pick yet. Are you going to say what it is too, or you got to just or?
Well, I was going to wait for Duke.
We'll
listen to you guys. I want to hear.
We got to do ours.
Yeah, I want to hear, and then I'll make a decision.
But there's a couple things. Obviously, like we talked about the Giants and the Cowboys and Aubrey kicking it from the moon. boy, Detroit really laid the boots to Chicago.
Did they?
And Ben Johnson was asked after the game, what do you think about them going and running the score up and touchdowns? I mean, there's 3-4 minutes left and they're up by a pile, and it's 4th and 4 or something from the 4-yard line, and little touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What'd Ben say?
He said, well, what are they going to do? They never kick a field like that. That's the style. But they really ran it up. I mean, Goff had 5 TD chucks.
Yeah. Look like the Detroit of old.
Well, I mean, that's the expectation. I mean, this was the best, one of the best teams in the league last year, record-wise, in the NFC.
It's not a stretch to say there's Super Bowl expectations.
Sure,
with
they have
the
to
Detroit
be.
Lions.
They have to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, no one picked them to lose last year in the
No.
playoffs against Washington.
No.
So, to me, that was the other one is, the Indianapolis Colts 2-0.
Yeah.
And did you see the penalty? Okay, so what happened was so they were lined up for a field goal, and Denver got flagged for, if you want to call it a pyramid, like the guy was sort of jumped on another guy,
And leaned and
a
got
little
up,
bit.
yep.
Some people didn't think it should be a penalty. Some people, I guess it's if you're a Colts fan, yeah. But I want you to have a look at it maybe and check it out if you can find that. And
yeah, I will.
I don't know, Duke, did you have a good look at it? Would you have called that penalty?
Well, my best understanding is that if you touch the center, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. Is it not? Like,
it just looked a little,
it like situationally,
Yeah.
if this had happened in the middle of the second quarter,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it gets nearly the legs that it has, but it comes on a game-winning attempt that misses. They get the
Mhm.
penalty, so it's shorter, another crack at it, and then they win it to walk it off. Like that's what I think is giving this legs, because if this was a nothing burger type penalty call, if it happened any time other than end of game.
I know there's a couple games tonight, but do you know who the leading tight end in yards right now after 2 games is? Duke, any idea?
My guess would be Tyler Warren.
155 through Sunday of week 2. So, I mean, Brock Bowers, he's going to play tonight. He
Mhm.
could be passing that, but also Jonathan Taylor had 165 on the ground, 50 through the air. His 5th career game with 200 plus scrimmage yards. That breaks a tie with Hall of Famers Marshall Faulk, Lenny Moore in Colts history. Only the Edge has more, Edgerrin James. So Eddie, you're looking at this right now. You're
That's
like,
tough. Like by the book, yeah. If you're not supposed to touch him, but he didn't even he put his hand on him. He patted him. He didn't. There was no momentum that drove him down. He pats his back and then
Yeah.
gets his hand off quick. That's tough. Like very ticky tack. Very, very, very ticky tack.
Mm-hmm.
If he drove him to the ground and pushed off, actually leveraged himself up, but he didn't. He comes, literally pats him, bat, hand off, and gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. By the book, I guess, though. What's so funny, man? We just let it out. Why are you trying to hold your
I'm
laughing?
not.
People flaming me and you love it. What's up,
Dean.
man?
Team Dean. Eddie, how many toe wedges counted in that 92?
Oh, tons for sure. Dean, I'm paying to play. I don't get paid to play. If I'm laying in thick stuff, I'm gonna move it out, man. Come on, like a yard or two for a favorable lie. I'm not shooting off of tree roots. Like
Dallas texted, not to overreact after 2 games. A lot of people maybe owe Daniel Jones a little bit of an apology. I don't recall anyone saying that Daniel Jones should be the starter chosen over Anthony Richardson. There was maybe a few people, but
To me, it came that Anthony Richardson is so bad, they have to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that they put themselves in a position where the next best option was Daniel Jones, to which a lot of people, myself included, rolled their eyes. But I kind of disagree, Kevin. I don't think there was a large outcry for people to go with Richardson. They'd seen enough. And if you can't win a camp battle over Daniel Jones with as much stock as the Colts have in you, then you don't deserve to play. And so credit to Danny Dimes.
There was a backlash.
I mean, it's more so on Chris Ballard, the GM, because of the draft capital put into Richardson. And as people want to die on those hills that just because you make a mistake, you don't have to keep making the mistake. Daniel Jones gives you a better chance to win. That's what they thought coming out of camp, and it's been proven absolutely correct.
Fellas, eerily similar to Trey Ford, Anthony Richardson. There are freak plays, freak athletic gifts that each of them have, but a lot of the time you got to be able to just consistently hit a 10-yard out pass, and these guys both can't do it. It's like the exact same conversation. It's no different.
I haven't seen a play like this. I'm going to text in Caleb Johnson, and he didn't mention that. This is from where are we at, Duke? Where did I miss it, Duke? Anyway, the Pittsburgh returner, Caleb Johnson. Did you see that play, Eddie? Okay, so
going to young fella, know the rules.
So
know the
is
rules.
It just is it a brain cramp? What is it?
You got to know the rules, and you got to know you touched it. You got to have some urgency to you. It is just bad all around. That's a really bad play. Really bad, costly play. And the coaching staff, you got to go over these situations and scenarios.
Pillman, what a play by my Steelers, eh? Dumbass, LOL.
Man.
Sham said this too. How about 2 Philly tush pushes in a row with no call on the false starts? They're going to be looking at this real closely.
Clear false starts.
And this has been going on, but those 2 camera angles that were picked up,
egregious.
Yeah. And okay, why? I mean, officials call false starts all the time, Eddie, all the time. So is this just because how the formation is and everyone's
so that's what I'm thinking, Kevin.
So you can't see it, you're not looking for it, or what?
That's what I'm thinking. It's jumbled up in there, and you should noticeably be able to tell when a guy is crossing the line of scrimmage first, like jumping and doing the false start. But because it is so crammed and there's so many bodies so tight, it is hard to see. And he's not jumping it super far. We're watching a slow-mo cam. So of course it looks really bad. Like I said, egregious. But the reality is that jump in a situation gives you a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah. 833 in Edmonton. I guess we got to get to in or out, eh?
Pretty soon.
Did you have a look at the questions here, Eddie?
I had a peek. Too bad I'm going to miss Hondo. Hondo is a great guest. He's a great guest. He is going to pat us on our back up here at Sports 1440 like we're old pals, man. I love it.
Well, he does that. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you can stay if you want.
I got a couple.
What do you got to do?
Elks Nation, baby.
Was that why you got the suit on?
No, come on.
There's again. So we're actually just watching. So with 2 minutes left, we're watching it's 3rd and 1, and we're watching the replay of that tush push. And I believe there was a little bit of movement there by Philly again. Oh, and this was another
I like
thing.
that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, this was that Chris Jones going at it again with Hurts?
Would that be your favorite football play, Kevin? The tush push?
No. What sense does that make? Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, KC 0-2, first time since 2014. Pat Mahomes, you go back to last year's Super Bowl, so that's a loss. They're saying he's never lost 3 games in a row, ever.
How about Kelsey with that drop? That was pretty critical, eh? Oh, boy.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Me neither, man. But yet last week he had a huge play.
Yeah.
So it's like he kind of shut a lot of the critics up that said he's on the other side of the hill, too old.
Yeah.
But then you see a play like this, and that's, the easy play to make. Come on now.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll go in or out, and I believe we've got a couple of NFL questions. One on Joe Burrow, and then one on the Monday Nighter, and then we'll get your thoughts. You might as well make your pick right after we do question number 3. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440. We're streaming on YouTube and X.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got booster balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients, chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy, the new mint chocolate booster ball, peppermint cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
That's the sound of the Harley you've been dreaming about. And this is the sound of opportunity knocking. And it's coming from Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.
Our end of season sale is on, and we're clearing the floor with unbelievable prices on a huge selection of pre-owned bikes. This is your moment to own the legend.
Find your dream machine at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 years.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Karius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting at the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:39 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you, and the Duke of Delburne. We got the fellas in the building too. Josh Fenwick, Sam the Record Man, all taking care of business here on YouTube and X and on sports1440.ca everywhere. Text 833-401-1440. We'll get to more as the morning progresses. A lot of NFL talk on the old text line as well today, but right now it's time for In or Out.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
In or out? What?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, Letterbuck. Rewinding Saturday afternoon. Elks is the big smoke. Elks from the top one to the margin on. While the standings do not necessarily indicate it, this loss effectively ends the double digit.
They're still in it, baby. Listen, round you're in. So I think they definitely will. And there is a lot of opportunity still. So, no, I'm out. They're still in this mix.
I'm in. I think that was their game. This is a game where, again, And I disagree with Speck. I'll disagree with you here. I agree with the Duke. This was the game. They win that game. You're tied with Winnipeg and BC. Right now, you're 2 games back. 2 wins back of BC because that's where you are. You're 2 wins back of Toronto because you got to finish ahead of them.
Why not talk about Winnipeg? You keep talking about BC. Winnipeg is going south fast. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
but it's moot because you're not going to catch either team for third in the West. And if with this loss to Toronto, your head-to-head there is shot to try and get the crossover.
I quite honestly don't see Winnipeg winning another game. That's not far-fetched to say with their quarterback.
But that gets you fourth. What good does that do you?
Again, it's just because of you got to finish
looking
ahead
at
of
the
them,
numbers
right?
here.
You're
and again, that game against Winnipeg.
Yeah, I
coming
feel
up,
you, Duke.
That game against Winnipeg is still, your head-to-head record still.
I guess if that gets you fourth, then it all depends on the East.
And like the way Toronto's playing, yes, they still give up a lot of points, but they found a way. They continue to grind it out. They're well coached. Chad Kelly set to return to the lineup, if not the immediate, the shortly thereafter future. That is an upgrade as well as Nick Arbuckle has played. Like Chad Kelly, this is a guy that's won MOP in this league. Or you stick with Arbuckle and keep riding what's been the hot hand of success like we talked about on Friday. So like right now, just based on the games the Elks have lost, I don't see a path that they can get a playoff spot. And the remainder of their schedule is tough.
Yes, they've beaten one team. They've beaten one. They have one win against a team with a winning record.
Yep.
So,
Hamilton, Saskatchewan.
Numbers don't lie.
Obviously, Winnipeg again. But BC one more time. Calgary again. Like the schedule is not going to do them any favors here in the final handful of games.
That game at the end of the year it's home, actually, a home game against Calgary. I mean, Calgary's still slugging it out with,
trying to catch shots.
I mean, they got a game in hand. They have a game in hand on the Riders.
Yep.
They're 8-4. Saskatchewan, that was a massive loss to Montreal.
It was.
Because
so much can happen.
I get it.
So much can happen.
You have 5
still,
games
fellas.
left.
There is a lot of jockeying.
Going back to Hamilton, and Hamilton is the best team in the East.
Pretty much, we're from here on out. We're week to week. Things are going to change.
I agree there, and I'm not totally.
Again, 6 turnovers, and you don't win the game. You got to win that game.
It's a killer. They tricked it off, man. It's a killer.
You're 6-7. You're tied with Winnipeg and BC.
It's a killer. It's a killer.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to like totally write them off and say they're dead in the water, but I think the battle has become so steep uphill that if I were a betting man, I would not be putting money down on the Elks to, leapfrog what essentially needs to be 2 or 3 teams, depending how you look at it.
No sprinkle, he says.
No sprinkle. No sprinkle for me on this one. From the NFL, some wild games yesterday, including the Bengals kind of squeaking one out against Jacksonville. But the bigger story from the win for the Cats is the departure of Joe Burrow. Turf toe, confirmed that he's going to undergo surgery and is expected to miss 3 months. And I did a little bit of online reading from both beat writers, other people weighing in about what's the timeline here. It does seem like 3 months is actually like best case scenario.
Wow.
Best case scenario, 3 months. So that takes us to what, mid-December. We are looking at a potentially season-ending injury for Joe Burrow. The Bengals, this is probably the last year you have Trey Hendrickson. The defense is maybe a little bit improved enough to keep yourself competitive. I like Jake Browning. I think he's competent. Did turn the ball over a couple times once coming into that game. I think the Bengals need to go out and acquire a veteran quarterback. And in terms of cost of acquisition, and ability with this offense, since he currently possesses, I am pegging Jameis Winston as the target they should be after.
Wow, that's ballsy.
That's a really good one.
Yeah,
I'm in.
So you don't think, and I mean, we watched Jake Browning. He said 3 picks, did throw for 2, rushed 1 in, did the job.
He's a good backup.
That's like he's a guy that can come in a pinch and win you a game. Your guy gets hurt or out for a series or 2. Like, he's very competent. I don't know if he's someone I want rolling out as my starter for almost the entire regular season.
Exactly.
And you think that Winston could be...
He's third on the depth chart.
Because he's behind Jackson Dart. I get that.
That's it. I like that, Duke.
Like, what do we know that Jameis Winston can do well?
Throw touchdowns.
Throw touchdowns. Yes, he's turnover prone as well.
Picks.
But the Bengals offense is so well put together. He doesn't need to be Superman. He'll still try and be sometimes. But like compare Winston to say Kirk Cousins as an option for the Bengals here. Winston, it's a 1-year commitment.
Yeah.
The money is infinitely smaller.
What do you think you have to give up to get him?
For Winston?
Yeah.
Like an end of the draft pick.
4th or 5th?
Mid-round pick at best, I would think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that would get the job
Because
done.
like what leverage does New York have to say like
Yeah, I'd probably go in on this. Yeah.
Get some capital.
I'm fine with it. Yeah. I'm just thinking of other names out there. Like, I mean, could you get a guy?
Like, to me, it's Cousins or Winston.
And Jameis is corny, but he is a leader. Like you talk to guys around the league love him. We see the corny highlights, but guys like inside the locker room, he's a good leader.
Like, there's not a hell of a lot out there either.
No,
like if you're looking now,
a lot of the veterans that are out there are the team starters, like Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, right? Like the rookies that are expected to pass them on the depth chart have not yet done so. Is Ryan Tannehill still out there somewhere?
Like even you look at names like Marcus Mariota. I was even looking like an old fart like Andy Dalton.
I'd take Jameis over both of those.
Get Phillip Rivers out of retirement.
Yeah, there's just not. That's what I'm saying. There's not a hell of a lot out there.
And because like the alternative is to take a flyer on another team's backup that is maybe like pushing to earn a starting job. But there's so much more risk there than with you kind of know what you're getting in Jameis Winston. You can game plan according to it. Or if it is Kirk Cousins, like these are guys that have played recently, been starters recently, and have a long enough track record that there's reason to believe in them, even if they're not Joe Burrow. But I don't think Cincy needs Joe Burrow necessarily to be a playoff team.
Shadur Sanders, Eddie.
How
about him? How about him?
I had thought
Don't
that.
draft me, Baltimore. Don't draft me. I don't want to be the backup behind Lamar. Don't draft me.
Did he say that?
Apparently.
Well, but it's then the flip side of that is apparently, according to some Browns beat reporters, like he's not even running scout team at practice for the Browns. Like he essentially is doing nothing. He's just standing around.
It's weird. The whole thing is strange. He was projected by so many, all the top analysts. Even numbers back it up. He was going to be a top 5, top 10 pick. And then to go to the 5th, and then how it's handled in Cleveland. It's all just weird. Very weird.
Very, very weird. Week number 2 wrapping up tonight. Double barrel Monday Night Football game. So, Eddie, if anybody else out there like Eddie maybe forgot to get your pick in for the Fantasy Frenzy Survivor Pool, you're not done. You're not dead in the water. You can still pick one of tonight's 2 games. A little bit tougher than maybe some of the shoe-ins that we had yesterday's on the slate. But Tampa in Houston, Texans favored by 2.5. I think that line's a little surprising based on week 1 results. And then Connor Halley's Chargers are in Vegas. Road favorites for the Bolts, 3.5 points.
I got him at 3.
What book? Okay, well,
I was on FanDuel. I think.
Okay, that's
3.5.
I'm just looking at ESPN because that has all the schedule listed out in one page here, so we can figure out what we want to pick for the line. But just outright predictions for tonight's winners. I'm taking the Fantasy Frenzy special, both Texans and Chargers to win. Parlay that together for a little sprinkle. Why don't you?
I'm going to be out on this one.
Of course,
I'm going to be out because I know where you're headed for our picks tonight. You pick first. No, I pick first. Pardon me.
You got to go first.
I pick first, so I know where I'm going to go.
Yeah, you're up after last night's debacle for JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. Kevin now 4-2. He's rattled off 4 in a row.
Duke thought he was up 4-0.
No,
yes.
I thought I was up 3-0.
We got to get this spread correct though for the Chargers. Is it 3 or 3.5? What are we looking at?
Well, what do you want? It's your world, Kev. I'm just living in it.
Well, if it's 3, I'm going to take the Chargers. So I'll take the Chargers at -3. Okay.
I've checked 2 books that say 3.5, but if we can go with 3, 3 is fine.
Well, it's a big half point, is it not? Even Josh is shaking his head. Yes. We'll keep looking into this one here, but anyway, I'm out. So because I'm going to say LA. I agree with you there with the Chargers, but I'm going to take the dog and say Tampa goes into Houston and wins.
Man, I'm out. I'm leaning towards the Raiders, boys. I think the Raiders could do it versus LA.
What?
This is
Genty.
This seems like a game the Chargers would lose traditionally. But here's the thing. Jim Harbaugh's Chargers, I don't believe are as prone to lose a game like this. The old Chargers, sure. It's a very Chargers loss to take.
Geno Smith threw for 362 in week 1. Like, they don't have a conservative Plus, Genty was mugged up, didn't do anything. The Chargers gave up 100 yards rushing last week. I don't know, man. Like, I could see the Raiders pulling it off in a tight kind of gnarly game.
Is this what your survivor pick?
I don't know.
That would be real ballsy to take.
I know it would.
To take the
I'm
Raiders.
thinking for my survivor pick, I'm going Tampa. Either way, I'm out because I'm going. My heart's going Raiders Tampa.
Wow.
Yes. Baby.
So you're taking both dogs.
Both dogs.
Okay. So you're out on this one,
Kevin. I have checked several more books. They all say 3.5.
Well, I don't know what I saw. I'll be honest. I just saw it on. I saw it just on.
Duke, are you
TSN
surprised?
So do you still want the Chargers at 3.5?
Sure, I'll take the
You
Chargers.
surprised that Kevin's even trying this? Come on, it's KK we're talking about.
I'll take the Chargers.
Of course, he's
at
trying to
3.5.
grease.
And I have to. It would be wrong of me to not take the Texans here. If they were dogs, I would kind of like it more to take them on the points. But they're at home, favored. Maybe the O-line. Another week of practice can figure something else out. But we talked about this during the break, Kevin. You've got Nico Collins in fantasy tonight. Do you need a big performance to win, or do you just need something so-so?
No, just so-so. But I got Baker Mayfield too.
Well, he's going to get eaten up by that Texans D. Couple picks, probably some big sacks. I would suggest.
How did that defense do last week?
They held the Rams to like 15 points.
Is that what it was?
It's pretty good, I think. Switching over to hockey, Oilers rookies were in action over the weekend. They did drop a pair of high-scoring contests to the Flames rookie crop based on the results. And listen, I did not watch these games in their full. I had them on second screens, pretty passively watching. But to me, based on the results, Matt Savoy has a noticeable, sizable inside track on Ike Howard heading into Oilers main camp starting later this week.
Yeah, 100% in on this one. And I think this was, a given.
I don't know, Kevin. I feel like, and maybe it was just a matter of who we talked to, because we've had lots of guests on and kind of picked a lot of brains south of the border that maybe watched a little more of Ike Howard at MSU. But because everyone's saying, oh, yeah, the college game, it's not pro, but they're physically more ready. And I think maybe I fell for it more than some others that kind of getting indoctrinated about it, that he's ready to go right now. But the pro game, it is different. And Matt Savoy's year of pro experience, yes, it's against other rookie skaters, but he stood out from the pack. He was noticeably the best player.
You just said it, a year of pro.
Yeah.
He played in Bakersfield in the American Hockey League. Ike Howard played a year of college and has had one good year. Yes, Hobie Baker. Yes, can put the puck in the net. You got to learn so much more. There's a curve. Most players, it takes them a little bit to adjust to a pro style game.
It does.
Ike Howard I put him in that category. I again, Matt Savoy having that year in Baco, and just think, go read what Colin Chalk said about after game one. This is a guy that embraced penalty killing, embraced defensive side of the game in Baco last year. He's way ahead of Howard.
And when we throw around, he's played the year of pro, spent the year in the AHL. It's men. It's a year playing against men who are feeding their families and playing a desperate type of game. That's the difference. And you got to get accustomed to playing with men. And based off the results, if we're just talking this weekend alone, heck yeah, look at the production. He was the best player on the ice, I'd say. So, yeah, I'm in on this.
Oilers full camp, of course, getting underway later this week after, as Spec mentioned, some media, physicals. And so what's the official? Thursday they take the ice, Kevin? Thursday.
Yeah.
And Kevin Karius will be there on the scene reporting live.
Boots on the ground.
As quickly as he can get there after the morning show.
I don't know. They can go in kind of early or 9:30 or so. They're kind of done by the time we get down there.
We'll try and cut you loose early, big fella.
That sounds good.
Wrapping it up today in celebration of Eddie taking in the big country music concert at Commonwealth. He got his boots. He's got his hat. He's bringing country back. I hate to say this as a huge fan of the genre of music my whole life, but in terms of gatekeeping, and we maybe need to explain this to Kevin, I don't think any genre of music and maybe any fan base of outside of just music in general, gatekeeps its product more than country music does. So like, to Kevin, the best way I can explain this is that, like, let's just say there's some people at this concert on Friday or Saturday night, and they say, I love Morgan Wallen, I love country music. Out of the woods comes the previous generation or people that listen to artists that maybe aren't played on the radio as much, and they say, that's not real country music. You need to listen to this guy or this artist. That's real country music. You're just a fly-by fan that just likes the big radio pop stars. That's like they're gatekeeping it.
Okay, I'm going to be in then.
Yeah,
Eddie, did you feel ostracized as an outsider at the music concert?
Well,
on
I
Saturday?
felt ostracized because I was one of the 4 brothers in the building.
Yeah,
So-
Eddie thought everybody was staring at him because he was one of the few black guys there, but it was actually because his boots were tucked inside his jeans.
So yes, it was that for sure too. It wasn't even the guns. Normally it's the guns they're looking at.
What did you wear for a shirt?
Just a black tee.
A black t-shirt?
Yeah, just a black tee.
You see, you should have fully come and got some nice flannel on. I could have lent you a
I
pearl
thought
snap.
about it, but yeah, people see. First of all, he's black. Second of all, his jeans are tucked into his boots and they're way too tight. What is he doing here? Yeah, I'll be in for the question though, Duke, for sure. I'd be in.
It's frustrating because, like, I just don't get it. You can like Brooks and Dunn, like the peak of 90s country music, which was very different than it is today. And you can like Morgan Wallen and whoever else is, Luke Combs. Like, you can like parts of it. You don't have to like everything all encompassed. And I hate it. Like, it's always online, right? On Twitter and on TikTok and things that people just go at it about, like, arguing just the dumbest things. That's the world we live in. We see it in sports, see it in music, TV, film, never stops. But I think that this, and then like close seconds for outside of music, like Star Wars or like fans of or Marvel or something, they're like, oh, you don't actually know. You didn't read the comic books. It's like, well, no, I just watched the blockbuster movies. I understand. I don't know all the backstory of these characters.
I'm just picturing, Eddie there, like the lawman Bass Reeves from that, the Netflix thing, hey, with his boots on, and one of the 4 brothers, he says, because there's got to be more than just 4 of you at that. There's 60,000 people.
Okay, maybe 10. Maybe 10. Let's be generous.
Oh,
Eddie was a visible minority.
Oh, yeah. And I people watched and I scanned the crowd, KK. No, not a fellow brother in sight.
I don't know.
It.
Like I'm with you there, Duke, though. Like, I mean, I like Keith Whitley, and I like the guys, the different, like years ago that, a little more less smoke and mirrors and more just singing. How's that sound?
But if somebody came up, like you met someone and they're like, oh yeah, I love country music just like you, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I love Morgan Wallen and Hardy and Luke Combs and all the and would you tell them, be like, oh, that's not real country music. You don't know what you're talking about.
You would.
Yeah, I probably
would.
I'd probably go
See,
on.
Kevin's a gatekeeper.
Yeah. Then I'm in. Yeah.
Unreal. Can't believe that.
Look at this. Mitchell says Wallen is an industry plant. Doesn't listen or like country music, never has. Songs are made by computers. Look at that, Duke, eh?
Hey, Duke, how did you feel? Just quick sidetrack. When and I personally don't care, but well, I guess I do care a little bit. When he flashed the flag, the American flag, and all the colors.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Just
he waved it.
It was all on the screens, big American flag, and all the little wristbands that were lights went all American colors.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was a little just considering.
Well,
now I'm a dual citizen. Like I'm not getting all political, but I thought like you got it wasn't.
You're in Canada.
Yeah.
You gotta just,
But any ill will from that he probably made up because Tate McRae was there, and because they have a duet on the new album.
And
And
she
so
sang?
She came.
Yeah,
she
she
came
came
out
out
and sang her part of the song. Yeah,
She drove up from Calgary.
I guess so. Made the trek.
She went in. She came,
Kevin, you're silly.
she came up with that Max Williston guy from the Dinos.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, they
dropped her off.
carpooled. They carpooled.
That's awesome,
Oh, my
Kevin.
God.
That's
1970
awesome.
Ford. She's riding shotgun. Who knows?
You're the man,
Isn't that
KK.
something, mate?
She drove up for God.
Kevin, I will say, just to really put a bow on this, you'd mentioned this last week when you'd headed down to Elks practice, right? And it was at Clark because they were already getting things prepared for this concert. The shuttle I took came in on that back side, like on the south side of the stadium.
Okay.
And you were not joking on the amount of tractor trailers.
It's crazy.
To put
I walked right by
this. You would have thought that this was for like a festival that was several days of different artists all performing with each of their own gear and bands and stuff. This was for 2 nights, but the same acts on both. I guess I shouldn't say that because there was Miranda Lambert instead of Brooks and Dunn on Friday. But besides the point, I could not believe how many trucks and semi-trailers
upwards
were
to
in
100 semis.
It was
Upwards
insane.
to
That
100
entire
of them.
parking lot was overflowing with
And
them.
they got it just parked perfectly.
Yeah.
Hey, all in seam.
Crazy.
That's what I say.
It's a
Like
system.
when I went down to practice, like we never even got close to Commonwealth, and that I was just talking about the stuff at Clark.
Yeah,
that's how busy like it was in the amount of
all
like
that
Duke says,
equipment.
semi and tractor trailers.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Well, Eddie, what's shaking? You're going to go do the
Gonna go shoot the Elks
Nation?
Nation pod here, and
Yeah.
then do some other work, sales stuff.
Really? What else?
And that's about it. Just nice, easier day. I'm up to Grand Prairie tomorrow for the night. So
You're staying overnight?
Yeah. It's too much business in there to do a day trip. 4 hours. Not doing a day trip with a 4-hour drive each way.
Stay overnight. Well, too bad. Like tomorrow night, I guess you could watch Jay's game tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. I'll do something. Just chill.
Well, good stuff, Eddie.
KK, have a strong finish, my brother.
We'll see you on Friday, and I guess we'll tee up because the Elks play Saturday in Hamilton. In the Hammer. I got to check that game time. Do you know it offhand?
I imagine it'll be fairly early for us, like a 5 start, I think.
I got it right now.
throwing
It is
it out there.
5:00 start our time. Yeah. It's the second game of the doubleheader. So next week it's Winnipeg and Ottawa. So there's your game right there. If Winnipeg somehow finds a way to win that game,
Yeah, that's tough.
Murder
she wrote
and
potentially.
BC plays Calgary and Montreal plays Toronto. Saski's got the bye. So, all right, good stuff, Eddie. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Friday.
Okay, fellas.
That's our co-host, Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team, and a sharp-dressed man today, even with his cowboy boots, with his pant legs tucked in there, looking sharp, feeling groovy. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. We will check in with our good buddy Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated, covers the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll touch on the Raiders and the Chargers tonight. 2 games tonight. Also, as Duke mentioned, Houston home to Tampa Bay. We'll also have Zach Lang from Oilers Nation in the 10 o'clock hour with Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Gregor Show also in that 10 o'clock hour. Before all of that, and it's going to be rocking down at first round tonight for sure with a double header of NFL games. You could win an NFL jersey tonight at both locations on 104th Avenue or the one right here in the mall that has it all on Bourbon Street. Also, 50% off boneless wings. That's first round Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Edmonton Oilers rookies dropping a second straight game against the Calgary Flames last night from the Saddledome. 5-4 the final. Tommy Lafreniere scoring twice for the Oilers in the loss. Full slate of games across week 2 of the NFL yesterday, including the Bengals beating Jacksonville 31-27. Tough news for Cincy, however, as Joe Burrow leaving the game with an injury and set to undergo surgery, out likely 3+ months into the fall. Elsewhere around the league, Dallas beating the New York Giants in a shootout 40-37 in overtime. And on the heels of that, Dallas GM and owner Jerry Jeudy announcing that they are bringing aboard Jadeveon Clowney to join the team's pass rush group. Elsewhere, Kansas City losing to Philadelphia 20-17. Sunday nighter, Atlanta keeps Minnesota out of the end zone and takes it 22-6. From the majors yesterday, Blue Jays finish off the sweep of Baltimore 11-2. The final, George Springer homering, Shane Bieber picking up the W. Elsewhere, Houston losing to Atlanta 8-3. Brewers falling to the Cardinals 3-2. Cubbies over the Rays 4-3. And the Red Sox, they take one back off the Yankees 6-4. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated covering the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
September, back to class and back to carting the kids around. Good news. Until the end of the month at Wolf GMC Buick, get GMC employee pricing on all remaining 2025 GMC Sierras, so you'll have loads of room. Plus, get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Work never gets done by standing around. You have to put your words into action. And that's exactly what GS Construction does every single day. Our priorities are safety first, quality second, efficiency third. GS Construction works hard. It's true. But first comes the care, the planning, and the people. Underground infrastructure isn't just about machines and trenches and some traffic inconveniences. It's about doing things right. Find out more on what we do. Visit gsconstruction.ca.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
The Spruce Grove Saints home opener is Friday, September 19th, and you don't want to miss it. The Saints will be playing their first game in the brand new Thompson Family Arena as they host league champion Brooks Bandits at 7 p.m. With a completely new and exciting in-game experience, including a state-of-the-art Jumbotron, the Thompson Family Arena will be the place to be. Don't miss the Spruce Grove Saints home opener, September 19th. For tickets, visit tickets.sgsaints.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:08 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. Josh Fenwick, Sam the Record Man. We are on streaming on YouTube and X. So glad you could join us. It again, 500th show today, Duke. 500 big ones. And I remember you saying, okay, are those all included when you are gone and I'm filling in for you? Yes, they are, Duke. I've added them all
I don't
up.
question your math.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if somewhere along, because so when I upload the show as a podcast afterwards, right? I put a episode number on each hour of the show.
Okay.
So in theory, if I were to take that show number and divide it by 4, I should get the total number of days we've had a show. Right? And I'm just going to do it right now.
Hopefully it's close.
If we're today, the hour 4 will be episode 2368.
Well, it doesn't make sense because now we're into the that's
it's like closer to 600.
I don't think so, Duke. I know we're not at that. I got all the books too.
I would say that it's closer to 500 because I also do it for Fantasy Frenzy, right? And since it's just 1 hour each day as an episode, and that hit 500 last week. But I know there's been days where the Fantasy Frenzy podcast did not get uploaded. I'll be honest, usually it's when days I'm not here, and maybe it slips the mind of whatever producer's filling in, most often Donovan.
Yeah.
So I believe you.
Yeah.
Let's just call it 500.
Maybe we're off by 1 or 2.
Yeah, I doubt anyone else is going to go back and count and, you know, keep track of what days were holidays,
holiday
or
stats
around
and-
the Christmas time. We're obviously off for a few days.
Yeah.
So let's just call it 500 and be happy with it.
I'm happy with
content.
500, yeah.
I'm content there.
We've also got a little thing going with first rounder. Buddy Mark Lieber's there.
Mhm.
He's going to give 2 $50 gift cards during the NFL football season. So text us 833-401-1440. Should we do some sort of a little trivia with maybe a fantasy, maybe something with a player that had a big game yesterday, Duke? Or what are you thinking? Anything? Like who was the top receiver in fantasy yesterday?
What scoring format?
Let's just do PPR. Okay, full 1 point PPR. Who was the top receiver in yesterday's fantasy football? Let's just use the Sunday. Yeah. So yesterday, the top receiver in fantasy football, send it our way, 833-401-1440. When Connor Halley comes on, we'll discuss this a little bit more, and then we'll give away the 2 $50 gift cards that you can use at first round tonight or even Thursday. We'll do this on a Monday, and we'll do it on a Thursday because we got Monday night football, obviously, and then Thursday night football. So the top receiver in full 1 point PPR in fantasy football yesterday, who was the number one guy in scoring? You have you got the list up there too, Duke?
I was trying to bring it up, but I think mine was the first one I had was projections. So I'm going to continue to dig and make sure I get the correct answer.
Okay, because obviously I had one guy that was quite high. Jamar Chase had a big game. Also, Malik Neighbors had a pretty good game. Malik Neighbors was I got him at 37.7. But I think there's one guy higher, Duke.
All right.
Yeah, I believe by 2 points. So send her in 833-401-1440 on already. Bang, bang, bang. Sean. Nope, Sean is incorrect. Loaderman, incorrect. Chef, incorrect. Miles might have her. VR Greg says that guy from the Alouettes.
yeah. What a monster day! What a monster day for Philpott.
That's not bad. That's not a bad line. Pretty cool stuff. So.
Yeah, I think I found the same answer as you.
Okay, yeah.
So I believe, we know what the correct answer is.
833-401-1440. We'll pick 2 correct winners for $50 gift cards. You can head down to first round. And again, they got the half price wings today. They've got the jersey giveaway. They've got an NFL jersey at both locations. So good stuff at first round. Thanks to Mark Levers for doing that. And Big Mo Blayways. Appreciate all your help with that. So coming up after the break, we'll check in with Hondo Carpenter. Everyone knew that Brock Bowers was going to play, but I think he's a little more banged up than people let on. We'll check in with Hondo and discuss that as well. Correct answers rolling in. Stanzi, Loaderman, Darren. Correct. But still a lot of guys are taking Chase.
Hey, that's a big bounce back performance after a no-show in week 1. My top pick. I was glad to have him. Yeah. I'm on track right now to win both of my matchups. Jefferson, a surprisingly decent game when you consider the fact that nobody scored a touchdown for the Vikings. So that has a little bit of a pull because he had the one big 50-yard grab right at the end of the first half. So that helped.
I got Trey McBride, Duke, and this can't be happening again. Where he's, he gets quite a few targets, receptions. He had 6 for 78, but the touchdowns, I don't get how if he's not even in the game plan, it seems, for looks, targets down in the end zone.
It's perplexing.
It really is. Yeah, it's hard to believe. So get those correct answers in. 833-401-1440. Quite a few coming in right now. PJ Chef has changed his answer now. MTR says the midget can't see over the line. That's why the targets.
Oh, Kyler
aren't there.
Murray.
Kyler
Can't
Murray.
see Trey
I get
McBride
it.
in the end
Yes.
zone, I guess.
I get it. When we come back, Hondo Carpenter from SI will be with us to discuss tonight's game 2 of the double dip, Chargers and Raiders. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube and X.
While the players gear up for the new season, make sure you gear up your snack game with Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Okay, this jumbo bag of beef jerky should last the preseason.
Whoa. Will Hawk has more than just beef jerky. There's smoked sausage and pepperoni products, too.
Well, how about we have jerky for Eastern opponents and pepperoni sticks when we face the Western teams?
Now that sounds like a Will Hockey game plan.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
For the pulse-pounding excitement of Indian relay races. This is the original extreme sport. 3 teams, 1 wild season, and they're all chasing glory.
To be successful, it can't ride safe.
Horse Warriors. It's on Thursday nights on APTN TV. You're gonna love it.
You ever done something you can't be forgiven for? Crave is the exclusive home of HBO originals, including Task, the new crime thriller from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
I'm gonna take their money so we can have a better life.
Starring Emmy winner Mark Ruffalo.
If things go terribly wrong, people want to know why God let it happen.
And Emmy nominee Tom Pelfrey.
I almost thought, oh yeah, we never did anything like this.
Task, an HBO limited series. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Batshaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Batshaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 920 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We're streaming on YouTube and X. Give us a like, give us a click, subscribe. It's free. I think we're quite reasonably happy with our first couple of weeks of foraying into the live streams and video and doing all that. Eddie looks sharp. You can't beat a sharp-dressed man like Eddie Steele, can you? Duke's just trying to hook up with Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated, covers the Las Vegas Raiders. That's one of two games tonight in the National Football League, Chargers and Raiders. Before that, it's Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers head to Houston to take on the Duke's Texans. It's fun watching, the replays of games when they're on the fast reel and highlights the following day. I mean, I think for the most part, our listeners are pretty passionate about the NFL in the sense that, they consume a fair bit of football games and even highlights as the day progresses on Sunday. But it's always kind of neat to have a little bit of a recap as well, maybe a day later where you might have see something that you missed, or maybe you're looking at it a different way, different angle. Like, for instance, right now, just watching the Patriots and Dolphins and, seeing a replay where the Dolphins go up 27-23 with 7 minutes left. And then, obviously they could not hang on. New England came back with a big kick return, touchdown right after to basically push them over the top into that game. Gibson with a long run right off the bat after a touchdown by the Dolphins. That's the difference. 833-401-1440. How are we doing with Hondo there, Duke?
Still just working on linking up here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Text 833-401-1440. Scott with a correct answer for our trivia, 2 $50 gift certificate cards for first round. You can use them whenever you want, but I would highly recommend going in on a Monday night or a Thursday night, or even on Sunday for that matter, because you can't get a place where you got every game going on all the TVs. Louis got the correct answer. PJ comes in. Yeah, Chef and Scott. Yeah, for sure. So if you want to get those in, we'll announce the winners, because we got two of them. We will do that when Connor Halley joins us in the 10 o'clock hour. Tonight's games, I guess, but we're going to feature mostly with the Raiders and Chargers when we do get Hondo on the line. I mean, this is a matchup where I think Vegas maybe surprised some people last week when they came out of the gates and had a pretty darn good performance to win in week number 1. You never know. You never know what you're going to get with Pete Carroll comes in there, and we know how much success he had in Seattle. They won a Super Bowl. But this is a guy that, despite being one of the older coaches, when you think about it, this is a guy that seems to be able to just change with the times. The players are different than when he coached a long time ago, but he's one of those guys that's able to change a little bit. Ashton Genty carried the ball 19 times last week, only had 38 or 39 yards. He's like 2 yards per carry. That has to change. Geno Smith was pretty darn good in his Vegas debut last week. Was 24 of 34, a 70% completion rate, 362 yards, had the touchdown and an interception rating. Had a quarterback rating of 102.8. Brock Bowers had 5 catches for 103 yards, but banged up late in the game with a knee injury. They said it was not serious. He's been on, the injury report all week. He's going to be good to go tonight, but we'll see if that hampers him at all a little bit. Justin Herbert on the other side of it, he found a target last week in Quentin Johnson and hooked up with Johnson for 79 yards. And Johnson had 2 touchdown receptions. Keenan Allen had 88 yards and a touchdown reception. Herbert went 25 of 34 for 3 TDs and 318 yards last week. So we got the possibility for a really good game tonight. Both teams, like the Chargers are coming off the game in Brazil. The Raiders won in New England 20-13. So their defense did the job too. That Chargers game was 27-21 against Kansas City. And man, we've been talking about Kansas City all morning in the sense that, 0-2 to start the year, first time since 2014. They missed the playoffs that year. Pat Mahomes, going back to last year, loses 3 games in a row, first time ever. Slippery. Blair says, I missed the question, KK. Well, here it is, Blair, and we texted you back. The highest scorer in wide receivers yesterday in PPR, full PPR, so a full PPR, not a half point, in fantasy from yesterday's games. Same thing, Kim. What's the trivia question? Who was the highest scoring wide receiver yesterday? And Blair, no, you are incorrect with that answer, Blair. Hondo's having a tough time here, Duke. What's going on?
Yeah, just haven't heard back yet. Send him a little text, just confirm if he would still be free to get on with us. Getting a no answer on the phone line. So we'll keep on it, see if we can track him down.
Yeah.
But nothing thus far.
It's funny on game day for a reporter. It's way different than NHL games, say, because you got the morning skate and you have the ability, the opportunity to go down to the rink and you end up, they make 2-3 guys available, but you get to watch them and go through what they would call their walkthrough, which is a day earlier for the NFL guys. So it's kind of neat. It's different. 833-401-1440. Kim is correct with the trivia. Blair, incorrect. Matthew, incorrect with your response. Jana, oh boy. We were talking about our 500 shows. Does Kevin only count the shows he does? No. Tried my very best, Jana. If I'm gone, I add them up too, and Duke's filling in. And I might be off by 1 or 2, but I mean, Blair says, way to rub it in my face, KK. The station's now dead to me. Sorry, Blair. We got to get the right answer. Aaron, incorrect. Sorry, buddy. The rig, incorrect. 833-401-1440. Hey, just saw a thing, and I wanted to congratulate too. Johnny Winwick just sent out a post. After a full week of the ATB Classic Golf Tournament in Northern Bear, Johnny said the ATB now moves on to support the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Way different time for the CFR this year. Normally, the CFR was always around November, Remembrance Day in there. Well, it's pushed up a lot. And if you even look at the Oilers' schedule, that really shows you the difference in the amount of time that the Oilers will be away because they've got basically into October where they're on the road. And that's when the CFR will be in Rogers Place. I'm going to get the exact dates for the CFR. October the 1st to the 4th. It's like a month earlier than normal. The rig comes in with the correct answer now. Soggy Corpse. Sorry, it's not correct. The rig and Big Easy and Aaron all come in with Slurpy Sean correct answers. We'll give those away. Maybe we'll try to get Hondo at 9:40, Duke, or something. What are you thinking?
Yeah, if we hear back, do our best. We'll do our best.
We got Zach Lang coming up at 10 o'clock, Connor Helly at 10:20. When you looked at yesterday, and I mean, we touched like that. To me, honest, that Dallas Giants game was as exciting as you could probably get.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's 41 points scored in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and then you look at like Russell Wilson looked as good as he has in the past number of seasons, right? The moon ball in its full effect, working to neighbors on a couple scores, and then goes for it once more in overtime, it loses them the football game, right? They turn it over, and as soon as you get the ball in the Cowboys' hands, like when you have a kicker like Aubrey, your confidence level is so high, like 50 plus, no problem. 60 plus seems very easy for him, right? Especially in that type of environment. You're at home, you're in your own stadium, no elements to consider affecting the ball flight. So it was exciting,
It's
and
unreal.
credit to the Giants for fighting their way through that game. Like, this is a team that looked so bad in week one, third straight year they don't score a touchdown in the opening week, and they bounce back with 37 points.
Do you think you said you think that Dallas is still? You think you said the Giants were going to finish ahead of Dallas? You thought
that? Yeah, that was my preseason prediction. Here's the thing: like, the Cowboys will be able to score points at will against a vast majority of teams.
Yeah.
They are going to have a much tougher time keeping points off of their opponent's board. And I could see them winning some games like this, like these huge shootouts. The problem about trying to win shootouts is, like, sometimes the other team gets the ball last, and that's how you lose them. So is Dallas looking better through 2 weeks than I thought? I guess to an extent, the offense has been very explosive, but I don't know. They're bringing in Jadeveon Clowney, trying to help the pass rush a little bit. Would I still be confident in saying the Giants are going to finish ahead? No, I wouldn't be confident in saying that at 2 weeks.
Soggy Corpse texts in. I played Northern Bear 2 days before the event. They had a tournament out and they ruined the fescue. Big shout out to the Greenskeepers as they brought it all the way back. Pretty dang good. Soggy Corpse. And again, when you look at the leaderboard in this tournament, ATB Financial Classic, I mean, this was 19 underscore is amazing, especially when you think about it in round number 3. He shot a 74, and we're talking about Michael Brennan. So he went 61, 66, 74, 68, wins by 1 stroke over Derek Hitchner. The top Canadian, again, T14, was Hunter Thompson at 13. For some reason, and I don't know why, but the round 3 scores were considerably higher by almost every golfer when you compare it to rounds 1, 2, and 4. Did they junk it up a little bit more? Hard to say. But the numbers were all higher. Like, even everyone in the top 5, 74, 70, 70, 70, 72. Bo Briol had a 65. But other than that, when you look at it, like, we got 71s. I kind of felt a little bit for the guy we had on, Will Holen. He shot an 80 in round 3. He made the cut, shot 68, 71, but shot an 80 in round 3. Bounces back with a 72 yesterday. So you got to give him credit for that, but something happened in round number 3 where the course was junked up a little bit because the numbers across the board a lot higher. Text 833-401-1440. Enrique has the correct answer as well. MTR, that leverage call in the Broncos game was absolute joke. Well, we talked about that with Eddie, and Eddie hadn't seen it. And Eddie looked at it while we were, just discussing it. And he goes, yeah, and we talked about it too. By the rule, the letter of the book, and Duke mentioned this, it's probably a call. Would it have been called in the second quarter? I don't know. But Duke, as you were saying, because of where it was and what point of the game, and I mean, I've looked at it several times. Is it that egregious of a play where you're calling it?
Well, once again, it's a matter if it's a by the book or not.
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. We got Hondo? Yeah, okay. Hondo's going to join us. Hondo Carpenter, a couple of minutes late, but we wiggled our way through that segment. So when we come back, Hondo Carpenter from SI, Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:37 in Edmonton. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. The biggest sale of the year is on right now. Our in-stock Ram 1500 sports are all discounted by a whopping $14,000. Over 90 to choose from, including the Night Edition GT models, only at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated in Vegas, covers the Raiders. Morning, Hondo. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Once again, really appreciate it.
Hey, it is always great to talk to my friends up in Canada. So thanks for having me. And I got to tell you a great story. So I'm from the northern part of the of America in Michigan. And so it's funny, my friends who live along the northern states, I've had 2 or 3 tell me that they actually heard because they like to listen to you guys because the hockey coverage is better up there than it is in America. So I was like, well, great. So anyways, it's great to be on. Thanks for having me. It's always a treat. You guys have the absolute best sports radio show in Canada, and I would say one of the top 10 if you were in America. So thanks for having me.
Thanks for those kind words, Hondo. Well, what about this game tonight? Chargers and Raiders. First off, Brock Bowers kind of been on the injured list all week and had that knee banged up. Is he good to go, and will he be held back at all a little bit?
Nope, he's playing. He's good to go. I've been reporting all week. In fact, even in the locker room from New England last week, I was told that by some people close to the situation, that they thought he would play. So that's been what we were reporting all week. And then we reported on Friday he was playing. He is going to play. And I think Landon Roberts is going to play as well. So that's good. The only player they're going to be down is Jackson Powers Johnson. But he's a young man that struggled a little bit, ended up winning a starter's job, but barely beat out Alex Kappa, who came over as a free agent from the Bengals last year, who protected Joe Burrow. So that is a position that, losing one guy there who's backed up and had just been in a tight battle, that's not really a huge loss, and it's a proven veteran. So the Raiders are going to be fully healthy tonight. I mean, obviously down Jackson, but having Alex Kappa there, that is you never want any injured. So I'm not saying that. But if you're going to have an injury, that would have been the place I would have picked.
Yeah, so Kappa just slides in there at right guard, Hondo?
Yeah, he'll be sliding in and starting at right guard tonight.
Yeah. Go back to last week. What did you see in the season opener that impressed you with a pretty, impressive win to get a road win in New England against a team that a lot of people, we saw what New England did yesterday against Miami, but maybe just your thoughts on how Vegas handled that first week win.
So I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I'm an NFL senior writer. I cover a lot of the league, and I can tell you this. I have been around a lot of great and championship coaches. And Pete Carroll, who I've had dealings with, but they were nothing like it is when you're, a beat writer with the guy every day. I have never met a coach like him, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. He is a player's coach in that they love him, with the demanding side of a Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. And it's very unique. If you would have told me before I had a front row seat to Pete that it was possible to be a coach like this, I would have told you no, because I'm coming at this with over 30 years of experience. He's a unicorn. I'm going to give you an example of that. He took a player aside early this offseason and said, man, I'm believing in you. I think you can make this team, but man, not the way you're playing now. And he absolutely dressed the player's performance down while at the same time lifting him up. And the player told me, I felt like I had let him down. Like he was like a dad saying, son, I believe in you. I laughed. And my dad used to always say, tact is the ability to tell someone to go to hell and make them look forward to the trip. And so this is a guy that absolutely is demanding. He won't tolerate anything than top performance, but at the same time, the guys love him. And so I predicted that they were going to go into New England. In fact, I was one of the only national people who did. And there was a couple reasons that I felt that way. Number one, they're not a team that can afford a lot of injuries. They're not super deep. Doesn't mean they don't have talent, but their talent is very young, and young players make young player mistakes. Number one. And so I knew they would be the healthiest all year. And number two was Josh McDaniels, who I think is a tremendous offensive mind, not a good head coach, but a tremendous offensive mind. His system is very difficult. And so when you have a young quarterback, I thought there would be some adjustments. Everything I said was what came true. Now, here's an interesting thing. People that don't know football, but in today's take of sitting in their mom's basement talking with their girlfriend whose last name is .jpeg and they want to have a hot take on TikTok, would have gone and ripped on Ashton Ginty. But that means anybody that ripped Ashton needs to just wear a sign around their neck that says, I'm a dumbass when it comes to football. And here's why. They stacked the box. Mike Vrabel said, hey, I'm not letting the rook beat me. And so there were times there were 7 and 8 men in the box. And so all of a sudden Geno goes off for 360 plus and a 70% completion. So all that Chip Kelly did was said, okay, you don't want us to run? That's fine. We're okay with that. We've got a ton of weapons. We'll just throw. You know, I thought the old adage in the NFL before today's TikTok hot take culture was to just win, baby. At least that's what the great Al Davis said. Well, that's what the Raiders just did. Ashton Ginty, I mean, he ran like a beast. He had a 3-yard touchdown where he's carrying men into the end zone. And he ran physical and tough. But that guy in pass blocking, I mean, he put a pad into a guy's gut, and I thought he cut him in half. He looked like a rock star. He played great. And here's why I love Ashton, and I love the kid, by the way, is this week talking to him at practice, he goes, I don't even know what I ran for. I don't care. We won. I don't care. We won. And this is a team, and what Pete Carroll has done, and I'm telling you, he's a unicorn. He has built a team of guys that just care about winning. So there's nobody's worried about stats. I'm going to tell you tonight, if Ashton Ginty runs for 150 and Geno Smith throws for 35 yards, Geno Smith's going to be the happiest man in the stadium. And they built a bunch of selfless guys, and that's what they did. They went up and took care of business. Now, I think that the Raiders are going to lose to the Chargers later on, and I think if they had played this game in December, the Raiders would lose. Because of the depth issue, and we know about attrition that happens with a team during the season. But with them being relatively healthy, and here's another thing, my brother, is Allegiant Stadium. If this was the Bears, if this was Dallas, they wouldn't have home field advantage tonight. Because everybody wants to come to Vegas. And so everyone comes and they'll pay whatever they pay. I have a buddy who lives in Dallas, and he's a huge Bears fan. Now, do you want to go watch the Bears play in Chicago, or do you want to go to Vegas and spend a weekend? So rather than get season tickets to the Bears, he takes his wife to one game a year. Well, when the Bears come to Vegas, it's always Vegas. So he spent $3,000, $1,500 a ticket, and he's going to be here for the Bears game. There's going to be a ton of Bear fans, but this is going to be the Raiders coming home, 1-0, Pete Carroll's first home game. And even if the Chargers bring all 18 of their fans, there's still going to be a 90% Raider crowd, and that's why I think it's going to put them over the top for the big victory tonight.
Hondo Carpenter with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. I just wanted to maybe revisit with Pete Carroll and how impressed you've been with him, Hondo. I guess the question would be, how is he able to transcend from era to era, generation to generation? Because you know, the players are way different than when he was coaching, you know, wherever in Seattle, or even go back to USC. It's a different era, different time. Players are different. How is he able to just, I don't know, maybe be that sort of chameleon and be able to handle whatever type of player it is to make that player, as you said, feel like he belongs and try to push him to be the player that he can be?
So let me just give you a compliment, and I'm going to answer your question, but I don't get paid for doing your show. And I want to make sure, because I'm sure that you have critics who go after you because you're the big dog up there. And so I want to make sure all those critics listen to what I just about to say. I don't get paid to be on your show. I come on because you have a quality show. I say no to about 95% of my requests. And the reason I always prioritize your show is because you don't ask idiot questions. You know the game. You do your research. This is why your listeners love you and why your show flourishes. why other media die and change hosts every 3 weeks. This is why you are the guy who's always going to be you are as consistent as a Alberta Clipper coming at you in January. So now, having said that and complimented you fairly, I can tell you this. There is an old adage that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And one of the stars on this Raider team said to me about, I don't know, right after OTAs and before minicamp, he said to me, I've learned something about Pete Carroll. I said, what have you learned? He said, he's the most genuine human being I've ever been around. Now, let me tell you a great story. So Pete gets here. He's been here 3 or 4 weeks, and he's walking through the building one day, and a player who's a marginal bottom end of the roster player, Pete walks up and introduces himself. And the player goes, well, Coach, you don't have to introduce yourself to me. He goes, yeah, I do. I haven't met you. I'm your coach. And Pete talks with this guy. And Pete asks him about his family and whatever. So I don't remember, 8, 10, 12 weeks later, Pete sees him again and asks him about his mom by name. And the player was like, I couldn't believe this guy, remembered this. And I'm making up the detail about a mom because I don't want anyone to know the player I'm talking about. But it shared a family detail, an obscure detail that Pete remembered. And how does he transcend? He transcends. You go back to the beginning of time. The people that we remember and study in history are those that make people feel important. When I was in college, one of my professors, Jim Allen, taught me something I'll never forget. People don't remember what you've written, said, or done. They remember how you made them feel. And Pete Carroll has a way of making every single person feel that they're the most important person in the world. Now, I want you to please hear me out real quick. Here's the caveat. If you're not sincere, people know that you're a schmoozer and you're a fake. But when you are sincere, they know that. I don't care if you're from Canada. I don't care if you're from America, the Philippines, Russia. I don't care where you're from. People have a BS meter. We know who's sincere. We know who's real. And Pete Carroll's real, and he relates, and he cares about people, and you can't fake that.
Yeah, that's well said. Hondo Carpenter with us on Sports 1440. Last time you were on with us, Hondo, we talked about your relationship with Max Crosby. Has he? I don't even know how I could word this in the sense that has he even taken on more of a leadership role, more of that X factor that we can call it, where he is such a polarizing figure to be one of the top players in the game at his position. Can he, or has he even taken on more of a role to lead this team to where he wants it to go?
So I'm going to answer that in 2 parts. The first part is he couldn't take on any more of a leadership team. This is his team. He has this team in the palm of his hands. Mark Davis and Tom Brady own it. John Spytek leads it as the general manager, and Pete Carroll is the field general as coach. But this is Max Crosby's team. As he goes, the team goes. So leadership-wise, he could not take on any more of a role. But schematically, he's taken on an even bigger role. Let me give you a couple of examples. They moved him last week inside, which had never been seen before, to get in there and get some more pressure with his long arms against some short arm guards and centers. They're moving him around more. They're creating ways. They wanted to do this last year, but at one point the Raiders had 9 defensive starters out injured. And so they couldn't. And now all of a sudden they are able to do some things with him to make him even more of an X factor, to move him around. In fact, I started joking. I'm calling him the Viper because you never know from where he's going to strike. I wouldn't be shocked. And as a person that gets to go to practice every day, I can't reveal things that I know that I've not seen in the playbook. I mean, that I have seen in practice that haven't been revealed publicly. So I can talk about them moving him inside. But let me just say this. I think they've got some more things up their sleeve that you may even seen from Max tonight and that they're going to do. So not more of a leadership. He's already a great leader, but he is doing more as a player, and that should make every single offensive coordinator on the Raiders' schedule live in complete and utter panic.
Mm-hmm. One last one for you, Hondo. Keys for success tonight to beat this Chargers team. Should be a good one. I mean, it's a different team that we've seen out of the Chargers with Harbaugh at the helm. But what do you think the Raiders need to do if you had to jot down 2 or 3 points for success tonight?
3 quick points. Number one, the Raiders absolutely cannot lose the turnover battle. They can't. The Raiders are not good enough. Now, I want to explain what I mean here, because I think they're a 9-win team, but not a playoff team. Because of their inexperience at the depth issues, the Raiders aren't a good enough team to come in here and beat themselves and have to beat the Chargers. So they have to win the turnover battle, number one. Number two, and this is a big one, is simply be patient and take whatever the Chargers give you. So if the Chargers say, listen, we're going to put 7 guys back in coverage, we're not going to let you throw for 360, okay, then the Raiders need to line up and run the football with Ashton, which I think they can do. If they say, no, we're going to load the box, we're not going to let Ashton beat us, then great.
Mm-hmm.
Then throw for 360. I don't think the Raiders need to go in here and try to reinvent the wheel. But they need to go in here and say to the Chargers, okay, how do you want to beat us? Because we'll play any game. And if the Chargers say we're going to play a little bit of both, because we know that Jesse Minter, their defensive coordinator, likes to blitz, then great. Then when he comes with the blitz, he's going to have to get rid of the ball quick, which I have no issues of Geno being able to do it. And here's the third one, and this is a big one. It's penalties. The Raiders, I just mentioned a second ago, they can't go in here and beat the Chargers and themselves. So they can't have the meaningless penalties. This Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and Patrick Graham, the coordinators, they don't care about aggression penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Go be aggressive. Go be aggressive. But don't get the stupid pre-snaps. Don't go get the dumb penalties. And then I'm going to give you an extra point. I know you asked for 3, but I'm going to give you an extra point. The Raiders corners, Caillou Blue, who's a super young guy who's come on strong, they don't have to be great tonight. Herbert's going to throw and get yardage, and that's okay. He's going to do it. You're not going to just shut him down. But they need to be quality. Not perfect, but just quality. And I think that they'll be fine. And again, with that home field advantage, I think that's going to be the key to the Raiders getting the victory tonight. And I think it's – now, listen, I think they turn around and go to Washington and lose next week. But I'm not thinking that they're more than they are. But I think this lines up tonight for a really good advantage for the Raiders.
Well, Hondo, I always enjoy our conversations. Great stuff. Enjoy the game tonight. Hey, first place on the line right off the hop.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
And let me just say this to you real quick. I love your show. I appreciate you having me on because I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. And I said this the last time I was on. Any of your listeners who follow me on Twitter at Hondo Carpenter, if they just simply mention you and if they follow me and send me a tweet mentioning you, I'll give all of your listeners an automatic follow back, which I don't do that very often. If you look, I've got tens of thousands of followers and follow very few. But people smart enough to listen to your show, I want to follow them. So thanks, brother.
Thanks, Hondo. Take care, man. Enjoy the game tonight.
You too, my friend.
Yeah, that's Hondo Carpenter. SI covers the Raiders, and again, for decades. And give him a follow. Check him out for sure. That's the game of the day. Brought to you by St. Albert Dodge 2025 Jeep Wrangler 1500s. 0% financing for up to 72 months. Great selection. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. When we come back top of the hour, we'll check in with Zach Lang. We'll talk maybe a little Blue Jays, but we'll talk Oilers, rookie camp, main camp starting this week. Hockey season's here, man. Hockey season is here. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton on Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 incredible years in business. That's hdofedmonton.com. Check them out on Yellowhead Trail. Here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
NFL Week 2 schedule wrapping up tonight with a double barrel of Monday Night Football. First, Tampa Bay in Houston taking on the Texans. That one getting underway just after 5 o'clock. And then the nightcap, AFC West matchup. The Raiders hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Kickoff there scheduled for 8 o'clock. Some cleanup from injury news around the league yesterday. Joe Burrow needing surgery on his foot. Out expected 3 months here after just 2 weeks of the campaign. Jets quarterback Justin Fields in concussion protocol, opening the door for Tyrod Taylor to start in week number 3. And in case you missed it last night after the Cowboys win over the Giants, Jerry Jones announcing that the team has signed Jadeveon Clowney to join the team's pass rush. In the majors today, Blue Jays opening a set against the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch coming just after 5:30. Trey Savage, team's top prospect, making his first MLB start for Toronto. Elsewhere, Pirates hosting the Cubs. Orioles are in the south side of Chicago against the White Sox. Yankees start a set in Minnesota. And the Texas Rangers duke it out with the division rival Houston Astros. And from World Athletic Championships, Canadian Cameron Rogers winning women's hammer throw, opening toss of 78.09 meters. Coming up in hour 4, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Zach Lang from Oilers Nation, as well as Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada, with sports and entertainment properties including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League's Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
What sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
Listen up, because we're about to tell you what nobody else will. There's a serious problem in auto service. The price you expect is almost never the price you pay. Big Toy Shop tells it like it is. No BS, no false inflated bill. It's just the honest service you need, done quickly and done well at a price that doesn't make you feel like a chump. Take your ride to Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. Call 780-298-2797.
Stop juggling lowest bid contractors, because at Wetaskiwin Ready Mix, one call does it all. From concrete supply to cribbing and pumping, we've got your project covered. Locally owned and operated, Wetaskiwin Ready Mix is proud to deliver on spec and on time every time, because we know quality concrete isn't cheap, and cheap concrete isn't quality. Send Wetaskiwin Ready Mix your blueprint. We'll handle the rest. Wetaskiwin Ready Mix, 780-352-4301.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Program, 10 o'clock in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Josh Fenwick, Sam the Record Man. We're streaming on YouTube and on X as well. Text 833-401-1440. Jason said, because we were talking about the conditions on Saturday at Northern Bear, and I golfed at Belvedere on Saturday. I didn't find the wind really wasn't howling, I didn't think. He says, Jason says the wind was definitely a factor. Even had a caddy say that when I was leaving on the shuttle back to the parking. Playbook Vic as well said, wasn't the course on Saturday. I caddied for Jack London. He shot a 65. We were out early. Wind was calm. Started howling as we were finishing. Played havoc with the later tee times. There you go. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate it. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Are you ready to swap your tires out this fall? Well, Fountain Tire makes it easy and saves you cash. Get $50 off tire storage with the purchase of a new set of tires September 2nd through the 30th. No more stacking tires in your garage. Let us handle it. See select locations for details as we welcome back Zach Lang from Oilers Nation. Morning, Zach. You're with Kevin Karius once again. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Kev. My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Wow. I mean, are you still wondering about your Chicago Bears after yesterday? Man, that was as Eddie Steele would call it, that was a molly-whopping.
Yeah, it was. That was a bit of a tough one for the Bears for sure. I was saying this to the Duke before. I took a little bit of solace in the fact that Minnesota got absolutely steamrolled on national television last night, and JJ McCarthy didn't look very good. So I take a little bit of solace in that fact. But listen, I'm not, getting too crazy here about my Bears right now. It's going to be a process. It's going to take some time, I think, for Ben Johnson to really find an identity for this football team. And I think there were some good signs. I think Caleb looked a little bit better yesterday, and Roma Dunze, another big week for him. So that's exciting to see.
What do you think about the mechanics for Williams? What do you like? Sometimes, to me, he looks so off balance. His footwork isn't there. I don't know. Is it something that just maybe I'm noticing? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's some cleaning up that could be done for sure. I think more of the concern for me with Caleb is his deep ball. He doesn't really seem to have a great or very accurate deep ball, and I think he tends to panic a little bit too quickly. You see him scrambling around, and obviously he's a mobile quarterback who can make things happen with his feet. But there was that one interception yesterday, I think in the second half, that was just a result of him just kind of trying to throw it away on the run and not really kind of slowing himself down to really think through that process. I mean, listen, it was a weird year last year, right? He had like 3 different offensive coordinators, 2 different head coaches. It was really about as bad of a situation as it could have been in Chicago last year for Caleb. So I'm not, getting, again, too crazy about things here. I think it's going to take some time even for him, with what's been going on. But I think there's some good signs there from him still.
Mm-hmm. Zach Lang with us on Sports 1440. Oiler rookies with a couple of games, both losses against Calgary on Friday and then yesterday. We have a little segment, as you know, Zach, called In or Out. And one of the questions that the Duke put forth this morning was this, and I'll get your result or your reaction after it. Oiler rookies dropped a pair of high-scoring games to the Flames rookies. Based on the results, Matt Savoy has a considerable inside track on Ike Howard heading into main camp. Your thoughts on that statement?
I would probably say in on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have said in on that even before the rookie camp games, solely due to the fact that Savoy has got professional hockey games under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
A season and a bit at the American level, got a little cup of coffee in the NHL last season. So I think that definitely, would be the case here. It's good to see Savoy going out there and dominating. I think that's probably the most encouraging thing about this. It's hard to put too much stock into training camp, scrimmages and the early preseason games, let alone the rookie games here. But, what do you want to see from a guy like Savoy, going up against his peers in this age group? Him dominating, and that's what he was able to do. So I think that was a really good sign for Savoy here.
What about Ike Howard? It's just a couple of games here, and he's still getting his feet wet and into being a pro, being at camp and things like that. Where again, as you just said, Matt Savoy's got a year under his belt playing pro hockey in Baco, so it's different scenario, different comparisons. But maybe just a thought on what you've seen from Howard so far.
Yeah, I'm not really concerned right now. Listen, again, this is 2 rookie games here. We haven't even had the main training camp or a preseason split squad game yet here for the Edmonton Oilers. So, I think for me, once we start to get into the preseason, 3, 4, 5 games in, that's when we're really going to start to see, whether or not Ike Howard is going to be a fit at the NHL level here or not this season. So, I'm holding out hope that, maybe he has some better performances in the preseason than what was seen in the rookie camp games. But at the end of the day, those rookie camp games are really just about getting a little bit of acclimation to the organization. And I think that's what was really key for those 2 guys, Savoy and Howard, and, other guys like Josh Szymanski and Marjala, Damien Carfagna, all of these guys who were kind of, these free agent signings out of Europe and the college ranks this season.
Zach Lang with us on Sports 1440. I've been saying it, and everyone says it for, years and years. When you come to a camp, just do something to get noticed. And I think Connor Clattenburg did that on Friday. And this is a guy that, he's pushing the pace for trying to get noticed. And he did that on Friday night. And this is a big guy I'm just curious. I want to see what happens when the Bulls start flying at main camp. But this guy must have piqued your interest here on the weekend.
Yeah, he's definitely caught my eye for sure. I mean, a big night on Friday, gets the fight, a little bit undisciplined with the penalties on Sunday night. And I think that's kind of a part of Clattenburg's game. I'm not really sure if there is a pro player here or not, a guy who could play in the NHL one day. But at the very least, you're seeing a guy here who's trying to get himself noticed. And he's been doing so successfully. I think he understands, the style of play that he can play at the next level of hockey, wherever that may be, and is really going out there and showing it. It was a really funny tweet from Greg Wyshynski over the weekend saying something along the lines of Cal Clutterbuck retires in the last year or two, and now all of a sudden we have a Connor Clattenburg to think about, and that kind of made me laugh a little bit. But it kind of reminds me of that sort of style of play that drove Oilers fans crazy for years.
He's a bigger guy for sure. What do you make of his foot speed?
Yeah, I think that's probably part of the concern with Clattenburg is maybe like to see him being a little bit of a better skater and not necessarily a guy who's just out there running around every shift. I mean, how many guys in the NHL are there that are like that these days where, they're solely physical presences? I mean, the Clutterbucks and the Matt Martins of the NHL aren't really around much anymore, right? So, he's going to have to develop his game beyond just that physical side and the fighting side. But hey, you know what? That's a good place to start for a big guy like him.
Zach Lang with us on Sports 1440. You mentioned a few other names, but did someone else catch your eye, stand out to you so far in these two games?
Not overly, no. I mean, I think Szymanski had a decent performance last night, but, that's really it for me. I'm not putting a whole lot of stock in these rookie games. Main camp's getting kicked off here on Wednesday this week, so that's when things are really going to start getting moving forward here, and we can start to figure out what these guys are looking like.
What would you say you're most looking forward to once main camp kicks off here, Zach?
The first line combinations, honestly. I'm a guy who absolutely loves the line combinations, so I love to see what they're putting together. I think that for me is probably going to be the most exciting thing, at least early on here, and seeing where they want some of these guys to fit in, because there's a lot of really interesting training camp battles here, within this forward group specifically. Obviously, the blue line pretty set right now. Goaltending, we all know Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard are here. But this forward group, man, there's a lot of competition, it feels like, this season. So that's something that I'm really curious to see start to shake out.
Where do you think Mangiapane just slots in left side with McDavid to start, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think that wouldn't surprise me, and kind of see where it goes from there for him. I think, if we want to just talk hypotheticals, maybe some tough showings for Mike Howard here this week. Maybe he has him starting a little bit lower in the training camp lineup and forces him to kind of work his way up or force his way to make the NHL roster this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mangiapane was up top there.
I think a lot of people are wondering about, David Tomashek and what he's going to be able to offer right off the hop here, being an older player and having, a lot of years of pro hockey under his belt in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be an interesting scenario here because, the Oilers have seen multiple older European free agents come through town. You think of the Joachim Nygaards and the Gaten Hosses of the world in the last, 5-6 years here in Edmonton. And they were kind of role players in the bottom six. And that's kind of what it feels like David Tomsek's going to be for the team. Maybe there's a little bit more offense there. You hope there's a little bit more offense there. But at the end of the day, I'm not even 100% sure this is a guy who is going to make the NHL roster right out of the training camp. I mean, he hasn't played a game in North America before. It's a big adjustment coming from the bigger European ice over to the North American game here. So, we'll see what he can put together here, in the training camp and preseason and kind of go from there with it.
Zach Lang with us from Oilers Nation, Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Blue Jays, big series that they got coming up here with Tampa Bay. Zach, I know you've been following this team very closely down the stretch, and it looks like Trey Yasevich is going to get the start today in Tampa Bay up against Smokin' Joe Boyle. But what do you make of a youngster making his debut in the majors in a heated heated stretch run here for the Jays, 4 up on the Yankees with a couple of weeks to go here.
Yeah, pretty huge moment for him, right? I mean, wow, what a season it's been, flying up the organizational ranks from high A all the way up to the MLB, in one season is clearly an impressive development path. One thing that really impressed me too was he was asked, he was kind of given the option of, do you want to shut your season down or do you want to go up and play for the Blue Jays? And he said he wanted to go play for the Jays, and here he is. I'm really curious to see what we're going to get from him. I think, Blue Jays fans should maybe temper expectations a little bit, because the first inning of every start that he's had when he's raised the ranks or raised up a rank this season has led to him loading up the bases. So it could be a tough first inning for him, but we'll see what he can do once he starts to settle in a bit from there. But, this is a guy who's got some really good stuff, strikeout upside. And again, that climbing of the ranks so quickly is really encouraging to see. I'm curious to see how the Blue Jays end up utilizing him, as things kind of get going here, because, he is a starting pitcher, but he did spend some time in the bullpen for the Bisons at the AAA level as well. He could be a bit of a long man for the Jays if they need somebody who could eat up some innings and some games here down the stretch and really start to see what he's got at the MLB level.
Well, and I mean, he could be a high leverage guy, depending on what happens in the bullpen. We've talked about this bullpen repeatedly, Zach, for many weeks here with, guys like Hoffman sometimes blowing up, and Rodriguez has been hot and cold. Brendan Little's been hot and cold. Dominguez since the trade, sometimes you're not sure what you're going to get with him. So maybe there's a chance that Trey Yosevich is, in the bullpen in some sort of a leverage role down the road here. Could you see that happening?
Absolutely. And I think that's the spot for him to be. I mean, you look at this rotation now with Shane Bieber coming in, and it's just one of the deepest rotations in baseball right now. So I don't really think there's a need to kind of force him into a starting position here. But like you said, whether it's a high leverage reliever or somebody who can eat up some innings, I think he can positively help his team out of the bullpen. And I think that's going to be the best spot for him to be, to start his MLB experience.
Yeah. What's cooking on Oilers Nation? I see you got Stevie Stais ranked number 80, Zach. Oilers top 100.
Yeah, that's right. Steady Steve, man. This has been such a fun project that we've had on the go here. So, if people who haven't checked it out, head to OilersNation.com. You can find all the links to the recent ones at the bottom of the most recent article. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this project. And obviously, we've got a lot of guys to go here. So, it's going to eat some time well up into the season here. So really excited to keep that chugging along.
Yeah, I see Rem Murray's at 81, Big George at 82, Bernie Nichols at 83. When you're ranking these guys, it's got to be tough. You got to, should I go up 1 or 2, down 3, 4, 5, maybe up? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It really was a tough process. And, what we did was we aggregated about 4 or 5 guys' rankings and then kind of tried to find an average out from there. And, there was a couple spots that we moved around a little bit. We had Jason Greger kind of help us in the final decision-making on some of these choices. But, yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, it's, hard to think of and rank 100 different players for a specific team. We were kind of joking that, next time we should rank every single Oiler that ever played a single game for the team. And then we could really have some fun with that.
Well, you know what? I even remember that, when they shut down Rexall and they invited every guy that had played a game. And a lot of guys showed up and they maybe only played a handful of games, but they were there. And I mean, to me, I thought that was pretty cool. So.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, it's been a fun project for sure. We've got some interesting names coming up here. I won't give any of them away, but the next 10 should be kind of interesting to see some reactions to.
All right, Zach, good stuff. Appreciate it. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Hey, my pleasure as always. Thanks for having me.
That's Zach Lang from Oilers Nation. And the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. If you need tires now, but your wallet isn't ready, check it out. Fountain Tire, they got 0% financing for 6 months or easy equal payments over 12. Check them out, fountaintire.com. When we come back, the con man, Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show will check in with his Monday morning look back of the NFL happenings, and we will release our winner of the $50 gift card for first round. That's all coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube and X.
That's the sound of the Harley you've been dreaming about. And this is the sound of opportunity knocking, and it's coming from Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.
Our end of season sale is on, and we're clearing the floor with unbelievable prices on a huge selection of pre-owned bikes. This is your moment to own the legend.
Find your dream machine at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 years.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy Round Black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank. Plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1021 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. 1021 means it's a Monday morning with Connor Halley into the studio wearing his LA Chargers hat.
Yeah,
wow.
Game day.
We had Hondo Carpenter on.
I heard.
Yeah.
Heard a little bit of Hondo. I'm going to follow him.
Oh,
and
you
then
have
say,
to. Yeah.
Karius sent me here.
Yeah, he's a beauty. He's a beauty.
I can't take all that Raiders content in my feed, though. Despite them not being good for so long, I still
he doesn't mess around.
Don't like
Hondo.
them, you know. Hondo's great.
Yeah. Couple of sad notes from hockey world. NHL alumni just saying that, and it's a guy that I don't know if you remember, Eddie Jacquemin passed away today. He was 86. He was, but he was a goalie for the Rangers. He was one of my favorite goalies just because of his, he didn't have a mask for a while, and then he had the mask, but he played a long time, and he won 290 games in the NHL.
Really?
So, he was, I don't know why, some goalies you remember, and some, just the way they play, like you always think about Gump Worsley.
Yeah.
Like how he was flailing around all the time.
One of the things that I don't think I have too many good ideas, but one that I've thought that the NHL should really get behind is kind of steal what the NFL does with the football life and do hour-long documentaries on players, and especially players from previous eras that, me and Sam and Duke and Josh might not really have seen play, but like, I feel like the kids today need to learn about Mike Bossy or, Gump Worsley, whoever it might be. Like these players who have, shaped the game and did so much for it. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. A hockey life.
They have done some of those in the past. There used to be like, like even on the NHL, not network, but there were a couple of companies that quite a number of years ago, like even Don Metz at Aquila, they were involved in doing a lot of those documentary type stories.
I think it'd be awesome, especially like, going back to, the Europeans coming over and talking about their stories and back in the day, not now, but Ayari Curry, Alexander McGillney, with the things he had to go through to cross the pond and come play in the NHL, things like that. I think would be like, we love to learn about that stuff. Everyone loves a good documentary, so why not embrace it?
Have you seen the Russian 5 one?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, check that.
Yeah, that's one other one, right?
That's a really good one because it's how it's done.
Was that an ESPN?
No,
because they've done it. Like they did King's Ransom and they did the Red Wings Avalanche series.
Yeah, 30 for 30 is the King's Ransom.
Yeah, so they've done a few.
The Russian 5, to be honest, I think it's like a super channel. Like that's that's the logo that's on there. But how they have, they have the illustrations, and then they have like the cartoonish, of in the middle of the night, Fedorov leaving and whatever, and all the.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. How the 5 of those guys ended up in, and one of the main reasons that Detroit was
so good. Yeah.
So, what do you make of this game tonight? Chargers and Raiders.
I mean, it's the biased Charger fan in me that I think they can run away with this one. Like I think Max Crosby is going to be a problem, and if they're smart, the Raiders, they're not lining him up against left tackle Joe Alt. Like if you might at this point kind of say, you know what, we're probably not going to generate too much pressure unless we send a couple guys in his direction and let he and Zion Johnson try to figure out, moving around a little bit. But I think, if you can neutralize Max Crosby, and one of the ways to do that is just run the football right at him, I think they could have some success in this game. I'm intrigued to see Gino with that offense. Jacoby Myers is a good player, and obviously Brock Bowers. We'll have to see how he's doing. I don't know if you got an update.
Hondo said he's fine. Fine.
Yeah, he was missed practice and was limited, I think, on Saturday. But even the Chargers say they can't wait to play him. They're prepped for him. Ashton Genty had a pretty bad game, his first game out. So
Hondo explained that too, though, and he talked about Vrabel just stacking the box. They threw 7-8 guys in there, and Hondo said, "Well, then we're going to throw the ball."
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's going to probably be the game plan again, offensively for the Chargers. I'm curious to see what they do, because last week in their game against the Chiefs, everyone says, "Oh, it's Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman. They're going to run the football," and they took out their blocking tight end Tucker Fisk. He was a healthy scratch, and Aronde Gatz, another tight end, healthy scratch. They put out 6 receivers and wanted to throw the ball all over the field. So I'm curious to see what the roster, the active roster, is going to look like, but it should be a fun one. Anytime Chargers Raiders meet, it's usually a pretty entertaining game. So get your coffee in a little bit later. It's an 8:00 start.
Yeah, it is.
Not as late as that boxing match over the weekend, but yeah, still a bit of a late start.
Oh, was that one? What time did that start?
Well, the main event got going at 11.
Oh,
it was crazy. 11 Mountain Time. Like, could you imagine being on the East Coast? It was I wasn't even. I don't know if Declan will be offended, but I didn't even think it was that great of a fight. Just like, why did I watch this? Because it was free on Netflix. That's why I watched it. But anyways, yeah, going to be a great night of football tonight.
I'm curious to see Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
So
do you have him?
No, I don't have him. He was bought like one of the dumbest guy that we have in the Doopies League. He spent all of his fab money basically.
Because he had 2 touchdowns.
No, yeah. So he spent $40 on Quentin Johnson. He spent 40 on another guy, and this guy. And I made the trade. He offered me a trade, and I said, okay. It was Wild Bill, Ja'Cory Merritt.
Which could be a good pickup.
Okay, well now, but I mean, I made the trade before Eckler got hurt.
Yeah,
but he gave me a second round pick.
Okay.
And Brian Robinson Jr. So
I assume you have some running back depth.
I don't really, but for a second round pick,
I had to do it.
Yeah, I had to do it. Plus, I mean, I can use that currency if I need something.
Yeah.
So
Quentin Johnston, I mean, he drops it in big situations, and the internet loves to have fun with that. But last year he took some steps in the right direction. I think 8 touchdowns he had. I mean, and Justin Herbert trusts him in the red zone. He's a big body, and he's a good football player when he's running horizontal. He's has some trouble tracking the ball deep downfield over his shoulders. So going vertical is not his strong suit. And that's why the Chargers drafted Keandre Lambert-Smith and Trey Harris. But when you get the ball in his hands, he has the ability to make guys miss. He's 6'4", over 200 pounds. He runs quick. So I like him as a player. I don't know, week to week if it's a great move, because I feel like the Packers receiving core is kind of the Chargers receiving core is kind of Packers light. Like it could be McConkey, it could be Keenan Allen, it could be Quentin Johnston. They got some other rookies, and then they could just run the ball. So I don't know if I love it week to week, but I'm not the Quentin Johnston hater that some of the other people are. I actually am a fan. I might have to buy his jersey and protest. A yellow one, just for that.
Why not? Our winner, Duke, have you got that handy? We had a $50 gift card for first round.
Nice.
And we said who was the number one receiver yesterday, wide receiver in PPR. And the correct answer, Duke, was
the Sun God, Amon-Ra.
Yeah. 39 big ones, I believe.
Nice.
What was he? 39.7, Duke?
I see 39.2 in PPR.
You're right, 39.2, because I got him.
Sticking it to Ben Johnson. Hey?
Yes. And our winner was Duke?
Stanzi.
So,
he's been sent an email with the information linking him up with our buddy over at First Round to coordinate the pickup of his gift card. And we'll have another one to give away on Thursday, I think is how you and I are going to do it, Kev.
Okay.
That we'll do it on the prime time game days. 2 a week we get to give away.
Perfect.
Go see Franco and the crew?
Yes.
Goaltenders, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe nachos. I don't know.
Why not? Yeah.
Well, the burgers are great, too.
How did you do in fantasy?
Not good. No, I'm facing down 0-3, so I really need the Chargers to win. We have Justin Herbert in every league.
Oh, wow.
And in 2 of my leagues, I have Chargers receiver. So if he could throw like 2 touchdowns to Keenan, 2 to Ladd, maybe I got a chance to bounce back. The one league, like my top priority league, classic situation. I'm projected to score the 3rd most points in the league, playing the guy who's projected to score 2nd most, right? So hate when that happens, but
it happens all the time.
It's not a great week for me fantasy wise. One league, I think I'm sitting at about 44 points right now with a few Chargers, and I think I have their defense and maybe even Cameron Dicker.
Oh, okay.
Loaded up this week on the Bolts.
Did you ever? Yeah. I'm 23 down, but I got Baker, Mayfield, and Nico Collins going tonight, and he's got Dicker, the kicker. Should be okay. I don't know.
Dicker's probably going to put up 7 or 8 extra points, and that's it. It's going to be a lot of touchdowns.
7 or 8,
give or take.
Yeah. Duke believes that this Tampa Houston game is going to be 13-10.
Oh, that would be awful. Like last night's game.
Last night was bad.
Field goal fest.
Oh, was that bad?
I saw some guy tweeting out a few days ago, oh, it's a rematch of the national championship. JJ versus Penix. They combined for 2 interceptions, completed like 55% of their passes and 0 TDs, like you said. I sure hope not. I feel like that's a game. I mean, defenses can both play. The Texans defense is solid, but Baker's a bit of a gunslinger right there. So I hope he takes some chances downfield, pushes the ball, and I hope that the Texans answer.
Exactly.
Get Nico involved and see what happens. Try to run the football.
Did you see the interview at the end of the Atlanta-Minnesota game?
No, meeting their kicker for the first time.
Parker Romo.
Yeah.
And to Leonard Floyd. Sorry, what's your nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wonder on the dynamic, right? Like I think if a kicker's been there for a long time, they can be beloved, but a new guy in, you might, I'll talk to you when I talk to you.
Yeah. So I thought it was quite funny. KC 0-2, first time since 2014. We're looking at and I mean their schedule obviously pretty tough. They in Brazil and then Philly, can't get tougher than that. So I don't know. What would your concern level be here?
Well, I mean, they're down. Like Mahomes is down his top 2 targets, right? Travis Kelce, another game where he makes kind of a crucial mistake here. First game he takes out their wide receiver 1, and then this game he deflects a ball that gets intercepted in the red zone. Absolute killers for him. He made a really big play against the Chargers as well. Just throwing that out there. But I think I wouldn't be too concerned. You get Xavier Worthy back. They'll get Rashee Rice. I don't know if down 2 games is, insurmountable for them. They're still a pretty good football team despite what's happened. They get the Giants next week. Giants pass rush can be good, but I would think this is kind of the game that gets them back on track. I think it's a divisional game after that. So not the easiest schedule. It's a first place schedule, but I think Chiefs fans might be more panicked than I am. Like I just think there's lots of season left, and this is a veteran team. They'll want to be playing their best football in December. I don't think they're too worried about September.
But the Giants almost pulled that out.
Yeah.
How about Aubrey? 64-yarder.
It's the Cowboys, though. It's not the Chiefs. So
I know.
It is. The Giants are. I told Strutty, I feel like the Giants are a sleeper.
Poor Strutty.
The defensive line they have is pretty good. That left tackle who took 4 penalties in one drive, unbelievable. But I don't know. I'm not as low on the Giants, but I think the Chiefs will have their way with them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But that was an entertaining game. If you out of all the games, like Duke said, there's 40 points or whatever in the fourth.
Oh
quarter,
yeah, and it goes to overtime. Yeah. I know when our Survivor pool, Lance, the Raiders fan, was DMing me. Why did I pick the Cowboys? What's happening here?
A couple texts too today.
Believe you got plenty of time here.
I never checked how you guys did, how fantasy baseball went.
Well, we won 9-1 this week, I believe.
Okay.
I think we have a matchup with Playbook Vic coming up.
Okay, and so what about MTR? Did he lose out? Duke, do you know? I stopped following. Sorry.
Did you fall out?
Yeah. I finished a half game out of the playoff spot.
Oh, okay. So we've got Playbook Vic this week. Is it playoffs right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
we won our first playoff game.
It was a
this week.
quarterfinal.
Oh, geez, we dominated Duke.
Yeah, we needed a get right game because we were on a pretty good skid, but the team bounced back. The other semifinal is between BAPIP News Bears and Average Joe's.
So MTR
over in the Constellation Finals against Yoni Bean Burrito, and then Maddie's Mashers, who we just beat, will take on AA Ron. Down the home stretch here. Can a Brandon Douglas drafted team win for a second consecutive year?
I don't know. Can they?
I absolutely think they can.
Wow.
We got one of our best pitchers back, Mackenzie Gore, off the IL.
He's running out of steam here, dude.
No, he's good.
I think he's just getting steam going.
No.
The flip side.
And what else happened? We had Tyler O'Neill came off IL, but the way our lineup is playing, I'm not sure he'll actually make it into the lineup for this week. TBD before games get going today.
Yeah. Does anyone have that's the teams remaining? Does anyone have Trey Savage? Probably not.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
just would have had to make this. Would have had to pick him up yesterday though to get him in the lineup for this week. But I don't know. Like he's going to have a start here tomorrow,
tonight
or tonight, excuse me. And you talked about it. Zach Lang talked about it. His first appearance at each level upon promotion is not good.
Yeah,
he's done poorly in those spots. So the track record would tell me he's not a guy I'd be playing in my lineup tonight anyway.
Yeah. Did you hear about Eddie Steele wearing his cowboy boots with his pants tucked in?
I saw the picture. Looks like a bit of a faux pas, but I don't know cowboy culture.
I don't even think that's cowboy culture, is it, Duke?
Well, Cousin Nails texted in this morning because, like, if it's just like you're actually just doing work around the yard and stuff, it's fine. Like you're in a rush, you put it. They often call that the bull rider tuck because it's like you're just crawling out of the trailer in the morning and you just slide them on that way. You don't put your jeans on the outside.
Yeah.
But in the case of going out, your jeans should be on the outside.
Oh.
Like without a doubt.
Would you post that on Twitter? You wouldn't put it.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Connor, unlike Eddie, even if he had somehow just been given tickets to this concert and he's like, sure, I have nothing else to do. They're free. Maybe I'm in a cool spot where I get some free food or drinks, running with the big wigs, Kevin Karius. He would not wear cowboy boots.
It's true.
Now, unlike Eddie, he doesn't have any.
I went to Stampede once and I wore a fedora just as a counterpoint to cowboy culture.
What's coming up on Fantasy Frenzy and the Gregor Show today?
Fantasy Frenzy today. We're just going to recap kind of what went on over the weekend. Preview tonight's two games as Duke's Texans play and my Chargers play. And then from 2 to 6 on the Gregor Show, we've got actually Boston Bruins head coach Marco Sturm going to join us. Cam Tate's 2-minute warning spec. My plan is also to grab someone to talk, of course, some CFL, some Chargers, and you guys only went to Houston or to Vegas today?
Yeah.
So we'll do Tampa or Houston, one of the two teams, I think, to double down on the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, Duke had it on as a question. Eddie was out, I'm in, about the Elks loss that cost him a playoff spot.
I'm not out yet. I mean, it very well could. There's still plenty of games left to make it up, but I'm thinking there is a very good chance that at the end of the season they circle that and say, what the hell happened? Because there is no way they should have lost that football game. I was actually mad. I was at the watch party out at Beer Hunter. They lost, and I dropped a few choice words. I don't know how they lost that game.
How was the watch party?
It was good.
Great.
Very good. Yeah. Had some great mac and cheese, hung out with some good people, talked to a couple listeners as well, and gave some fantasy football advice.
Yeah.
I might have gave some bad advice. I think initially I gave good advice, but then I was convinced otherwise by
Look at
Reese.
Aaron Texan says, the league is fixed. No surprise when the commish wins.
I just, like, how do you fix a fantasy league?
A 20-team baseball league.
Yeah.
That takes some great coordination.
Fixed.
Some guys just no ball, me, and some others don't. Kevin.
Fixed. Good stuff, Conman. Have good shows today.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, we'll wrap things up on the Kevin Karius Show. Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We're also streaming on YouTube and X.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
When you get into a new Tacoma, you might suddenly find yourself expertly tackling bumps and boulders on backwood trails with a confidence you just didn't have during pothole season. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tacoma 4x4 double cab SR5 from $115 weekly for 60 months at 6.79% with $7,699 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Weed Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson again. Did you know that all mechanical equipment has a typical life expectancy? A furnace and air conditioner generally lasts 15 to 25 years, and your hot water tank is more in the 6 to 12 year range. With that in mind, your mechanical equipment will last longer with regular maintenance and service from the pros at Weiss Johnson. Visit weiss-johnson.com to book your service or provide you with an estimate for a new furnace, air conditioner, or hot water tank that is long past its prime.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 1041 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We're streaming on YouTube, on X with Josh Fenwick and Sam the Record Man over there. Duke, we better go over our picks one more time. I took the Chargers minus 3.5.
3.5. That's the line.
And then you have taken
Houston
minus 2.5.
2.5.
Okay. So, and we are at 4-2 right now.
4-2. So this could be big for me. I'd love to listen. If I had the choice, I would have taken the Chargers here as well. So I'm kind of in a tough spot about rooting for it. Maybe I'll just root for the Chargers to win, but only by like 1 or 2.
Wow. But I mean, we know what's going to happen. It's going to be 6-2 by the end of the night. And this is going to be the start of basically a snowball avalanche.
Just a retread of last year where it got away from me in very short order and I was chasing you by like 10 games the whole season. That's not going to be the case, though. My Texans will win. Chargers will win a nail biter. Probably game-winning field goal to take it by 1. And we'll be all evened up heading into week 3.
Honestly, why do you think that this the Texans-Tampa game is going to be 13-10?
Well, I think for the Texans to win, it will have to be because the offense clearly still struggling to find its rhythm. The new offensive line trying to mesh, new players in the mix, shuffling positions. There were quite a few injuries last week throughout the game as well. So the Texans defense will have to play at that caliber to keep their team in the game. And so if the offense can score 2 touchdowns, maybe that'll be enough to win. It'll be tough because the Buccaneers offense is as deep and as productive as any across the league here. If you look at the weapons they have available to them,
and you have Igbukah, correct?
I do. I'm a Emeka Igbukah believer, stockholder in him. But maybe Baker will just show a little of that volatility that we've known him to have and sling a couple picks out there. He's small. Maybe
what volatility?
Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. will beat him up a little bit. Fumbles in the backfield. These are all things that could happen.
I see a little more high. The over-under is 42, right? 42 and a half.
Right.
So I see a little. I'd be taking the over here.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be betting the under.
Austin Eckler's done for the season. The Commanders have signed veteran running back Chase Edmonds to their practice roster. They need depth there. Where are you at with Chris Rodriguez? Because he's a healthy scratch for 2 games in a row here in Washington. He will be sought after on the waiver wire as it's going to get probably.
You would think so, but the fact that he hasn't even been dressed in each of the first 2 games when coming out of camp, like Dan Quinn said, like this is a guy that with his size and skill set could be looked at as a goal line back for them. And I'm sure they want to keep Bill Krosky-Merritt in the mix as probably their most utilized running back at this point. But does he have enough upside to be like a guy you'd actually start on your fantasy team?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd need to see a little more out of him than just 2 games thus far to be in on that. But yeah, the Rodriguez one is really what intrigues me in Washington.
Yeah, I would say he would be, as far as free agent money goes, or however your waiver wire works, he would be near the top of the list for players that would not be rostered right now, because I don't think he would be a guy that would be rostered on many sites.
No, definitely not. And another name too, and I mean, like this, we'll be plenty in on this both in today's and tomorrow's fantasy frenzy. But like, if anybody wasn't necessarily buying in on Harold Fannin Jr. after week 1, if he's still on your waiver wire, I would think he'd be getting picked up now. 5 catches, 48 yards. He's been targeted more than David Njoku through the first 2 games. But this is an offense set up by Kevin Stefanski that both tight ends will be utilized pretty heavily. Both of them will be on the field at the same time a lot. But I wonder if Cleveland falls out of it, that Njoku is maybe a player that could be on the move later in the season. Like, is that someone that other teams would cover?
I would be on that. There's no doubt about that. I think they're putting so much stock into Fannin Jr. that they think that this is the tight end of the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would agree wholeheartedly.
And I mean, if you look at his numbers compared to where like Warren's at, and then we said Warren's the number 1 tight end right now in the NFL. Bowers is going to pass him tonight, though, I would imagine. Bowers had a 100-yard game last week, and Warren was at 155 in the 2 games so far. But I would say that for sure Bowers passes him to be the number 1 receiving tight end after 2 weeks. So The other guy that I wanted to mention as far as tight ends go, because I kind of kept an eye on him last night, when that was Kyle Pitts. 4 catches, 37 yards. But the way that game was going, it was just a weird game with all the field goals. There was no rhythm. There was no team decided to take that game and run with it, especially Minnesota. There was a time Minnesota they ran the ball and passed the ball, and they had a good drive. They get down to the 5-yard line, Duke, and the play calling down there, I didn't understand it. And that was this is a Kevin O'Connell in the sense that he can make these plays and run these plays and call these plays.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like someone all of a sudden just changed the mantra, changed the philosophy of when you get down to the goal line, because we didn't even see Jordan Mason in there.
No. Yeah, the Vikings are a pretty interesting study right now. After you look at, yes, they're 1-1, but they've essentially, their offense has played one good quarter of football through 2 games, and that was enough to get them a win against the Bears last week, which after watching the Bears yesterday, maybe isn't that impressive after all, even if it was in comeback fashion, because man, did Chicago look bad yesterday. The defense got gashed. I'm kind of with Zach. I'm still a believer in Caleb Williams. I just think it's going to be a bit more of a process, maybe not as ready-made as originally forecasted, but the bigger, for me, in Ben Johnson's offense, you talk about changing a philosophy. He stood on the table, according to reports, and said, I want Colston Loveland, top 10 pick, was first round of projectors, not like it was a big reach. And then but then used the second pick on another skill position player, Luther Burden. This comes after they took Caleb Williams first and Rome Odunze 9th, I think it was, right?
Yep.
So they've dedicated so much of their high-end draft resources to skill position players. And Odunze, he's popped off. He's breaking out here through the first 2 games of the season after a so-so rookie campaign. But Loveland has been targeted twice. Burden has been targeted once. They're 2 games. These are guys you went out there and wanted to bring in instead of drafting offensive linemen, drafting guys that can help your pass rush. Those players were on the board available for the taking at each of those spots, but they dedicated more to skill position players, and they have not been utilized in the slightest.
Jake Browning, and you had it in or out about a quarterback possibility in Cincinnati. You threw out the name Jameis Winston, but Jake Browning came in, threw 2 touchdowns, had 3 picks, but still had 241 yards passing. This is a guy that can do the job with those weapons there. How long do you think, if they're 2-0, let's just say they drop a couple of games and they go to 2-2. Now they're in chase mode in the division. Everyone knows Baltimore's going to be there. They get a break with Pittsburgh losing. And that's another story. We never even touched on the Steelers and that debacle really today.
Yeah, briefly with Eddie, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit with Caleb Johnson there. But other than Jameis Winston, who else out there could you realistically see Cincinnati going after at the quarterback position?
I think Kirk Cousins is on the list.
But isn't the contract's a killer?
I don't.
Right?
And so here's something maybe Connor could provide a little more insight. If a player's on the injured list or the pup list or whatever, they have done a bunch of different names, and it determines how long they're going to be out for. Is that similar to LTIR in the NHL where is Joe Burrow's contract now on the shelf until he returns?
I don't know that.
The NFL salary cap confuses me to no end, and a lot of it because of the guaranteed versus non-guaranteed contracts, etc. So I would need to do a little more digging to see if that's a possibility, that if you could make the money work, Kirk Cousins is probably of interest. And another thing, cost of acquisition will be low because the Falcons want to get rid of him.
What about the Red Rifle coming back, Duke?
I think that's a stretch. I think that's a stretch.
But as we said, there really isn't anything out there.
It's slim pickings. It is.
And a team probably does not want to get rid of that backup just because of their own security.
And so that's why the Giants and Winston makes the most sense, because Winston is currently 3rd on their depth chart. He is a proven guy in the league. He has had success as a passer. He's got weapons in Cincinnati. Cost of acquisition will be low. Cost against the cap would be low. It's not a deal you're tied to after this season. That's why it makes the most sense to me.
Tommy DeVito, Duke.
Tommy DeVito, get him out there.
Tommy DeVito. I mean, when I look at the depth chart right now, and I got it up, there just isn't anybody out there that really goes, oh, this is a good fit. I agree. Jameis Winston's probably the best of the bunch. And again, when you got Jackson Dart behind Russell Wilson, and there's another, like Russell Wilson looked pretty darn good, except for that last pick.
Except for the last pick that cost them the game.
But
they were in the game because he played so well.
Threw for 450 yards.
Yeah, just a couple yards short of his career high, actually.
Yeah, when I look at the list, I mean, again, I just don't see anybody out there. And a lot of teams aren't even carrying 3 quarterbacks, Duke.
No.
So
because of the new rule that you don't have to have him rostered, but he could still be there like almost as an e-bug. Call it an e-buck.
Yeah.
Emergency backup quarterback. It's changed the dynamic of rosters quite a bit.
Would Miami ever move away from Zach Wilson because they got Quinn Ewers on?
Would the Bengals look at Zach Wilson as a tangible upgrade over Jake Browning? I would not.
All right. What's shaking for the rest of the day for you, Duke?
Well, we got Fantasy Frenzy, obviously, at the top of the hour. And then I'm just going to be lining up things for tomorrow. I'll be away tomorrow, so it's going to be the Young Bucks here. Hopefully
hopefully you guys come in on time,
they've got things squared away here between Josh and Sam, the record man. So they'll be on the sticks for tomorrow's show. So I'll just be spending the rest of my afternoon getting all that queued up and lined up for them.
All right, Duke, we'll have a good day off tomorrow. All the best to your family, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
former Rochep T-Bird.
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne at 12 o'clock. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell till 2 o'clock. Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show from 2 till 6. We've got Fox Sports all night long till we are back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, and we're lining up the show. Old Josh Fenwick and I and Sam the record man will be here. Josh, make sure you line up that show, man. Get it all going today, big guy. Let's get it all going. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com. Hey, thanks everyone for listening this morning. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the great texts and the interaction on a busy Monday morning after a wild weekend in sports. No question about it. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
NFL Week 2 slate wrapping up tonight with a double barrel of Monday Night Football. Houston Texans hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first contest. That one getting underway just after 5 o'clock. And then the evening, Vegas Raiders hosting the LA Chargers in an AFC West division battle. Some wrap-up from yesterday's slate injury news as Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow will need toe surgery. He is out and expected 3 months. And Jets QB Justin Fields in concussion protocol, opening the door potentially for Tyrod Taylor starting week number 3. In case you missed it, after the conclusion of yesterday's Cowboys-Giants game, Jerry Jones announcing that the club has signed Jadeveon Clowney to join the team's pass rush group. Today in the majors, Toronto Blue Jays will be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays for the lid lifter in a 4-game set. Big news is Trey Savage, top prospect in the Jays organization, set to make his debut. He'll start on the mound, first pitch just after 5:30. And from the World Athletic Championships, Canadian Cameron Rogers taking home a gold medal in hammer throw, 78.09 meters in her first toss, followed it up with another world record, previous best, 78.88. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.